Happy New Year, guys. What's up, us scientists? And I am Bobo. How are you guys? Great to see you. Angela's New Year's resolution is to not be on time. And she has fulfilled it. She picked the low-hanging fruit. She was like, you know what? I am resolved. How are you guys? Did you have a good New Year's? Did you guys do anything? Was there anything else other than hanging out with us? We didn't do a damn thing, Angela and I. In fact, we were laying in bed, and then all of a sudden so many fireworks went off, and we were like, oh, shit. Oh, my God. Happy New Year. We had no idea. It was pretty great. I loved it. I did, though, think a lot about New Year's resolutions because I was kind of copping out of it yesterday. And I thought, yeah, I got some. So I'm going to go over those with you guys when when Angela decides to come to work. Freeloading. She's getting written up. That's what's going to happen. She's going to get written up. We formed an LLC and she's going to get written up. That's how it goes, right? That's good. Well, we've definitely got some interesting astrology. I'll tell you, man, the eclipses this season, this year, are harsh. Like, it's not even, it's crazy. There's a lot of crazy astrology in 2026, and a lot of it isn't great sounding, but it's more far-reaching than there are so many different aspects, especially as it relates to individuals and the way that their charts, match up with the mundane chart. But there's some really gnarly shit going on. There's an eclipse. I think it's in Virgo with Mercury in retrograde, and I think Mercury is also like conjunct Mars. I'll have to look it up right now, but it is fucking madness. And then there's the one coming up first, which I believe is February. Angela knows for sure. Anyway, that one is an eclipse in Aquarius with the likes of Mars and Pluto. It's just gnarly. It's absolutely gnarly. Now, it's a lunar eclipse, so there's that. Maybe a little more mild, but that solar eclipse. Oh, wait, that solar eclipse is in Leo. Or is it? I know Leos are in for it, man. Donald Trump, bro. I was watching one of my favorite astrologers talk about his chart, and he doesn't really normally talk about charts like that, but he was like, Donald Trump's chart is gnarly. And I haven't looked at his chart, but I'm gonna. Because he got me excited about it.
Are you going to pull up your software here?
Oh, I don't know.
Are you going to show charts, or are we just going to talk about it?
Oh, I'm not prepared to show charts.
Oh.
I've only got it installed on my Mac, and I don't have that hooked up to the hardware.
Sorry for the clanging room. I know that this is noisy over here.
Angela's just smashing her way into the 2 Real Live set. As she sits, I get my my auto fade button ready. 3, 2, 1. You're on.
You're on. Happy New Year, everybody.
Ooh, tell us about your experiment. It's so funny when somebody called Us Scientists said that they're starting a new experiment.
I want to know all about it, too.
Yeah, right?
You seem like the type to do interesting experiments.
I wouldn't mind a bit if you just totally lied and just made something up crazy. Like, just don't even tell the truth. Just be like, well, we've decided to create Jurassic Park.
Or have you ever seen one of those, what is a sea creature? The nautilus? You know? And how they no,
what's that?
How they move and change colors. Do they change colors, or am I thinking of squids and octopuses?
Octopuses.
Do nautiluses also change color? I don't know about my sea creatures.
You know what I learned?
What?
Today.
What?
Blent.
What?
Instead of blended.
Blent?
Blent.
So your smoothie has been blent?
It has been blent.
Somebody's fucking with you.
It's
There's
a blended
no way.
smoothie. No, I'm telling you, I
But
looked
the
it up.
past tense of blend.
Is blent.
Sorry, the past. Oh wait, the past tense of the verb blend is blent.
Blent.
She blent her smoothie.
Look, I came across it today.
It would be the verb because the smoothie would be blended, right? Regardless, because that's the adjective.
According to Oxford Language, blent.
But that's a verb, right? Does it say?
Yeah, it's a verb.
Okay.
Archaic or literally past and past participle of blend.
Well, it's archaic. So they're telling you right there that we don't talk like
it
that.
just showed up in a book.
We're more advanced than
I was
this.
like, I'm reading this book and I'm like, what is this word blent?
You read a book that had blent in it?
Yes.
What book was it?
The Sally Rooney book, Intermezzo.
Sally fucking Rooney, of course.
No, she doesn't really
She's like, you know what?
This book is
I
definitely
don't
a
need
departure
quotation
from.
marks. I'm going to use archaic verb tenses. I'm just going to do whatever.
I really like Sally Rooney. I read Normal People and I loved it. I read Conversations with Friends and I adored it. And Intermezzo is, and I'm very early in it, but it seems to be a departure from those two books and their styles.
Yeah.
Which you could like, Don's Too Real is kind of not dissimilar in terms of stylistically the way, conversations are really the driving force behind the storytelling,
I wouldn't compare the writing that I read in Intermezzo with your writing.
No. I'm saying that's a departure from what she did in Normal People and Conversations with Friends, which I would say has a lot of similarities to the way I wrote.
A scientist has an answer about this experiment. Said technically it's still the same experiment because I have to do it over 4 cohorts. There's 2 more to go, and I shift to analysis and writing. I guess it's top secret, this experiment, because a scientist is not telling us what it is. I'm suspicious.
Now we are scared.
So, do you have non-human intelligence in your laboratory? We just watched a UFO documentary.
Yeah, we did.
And they were all talking about how there's so many new terms now. They don't just say UFOs now anymore. They say
UAPs.
Yeah, unidentified. What is it?
It's unidentified aerial phenomenon.
Oh, okay, cool. And then what is the NHIs?
And I think the reason
non-human intelligence.
I think the reason they said that is because it's aerial phenomenon, but sometimes it goes into the water. Oh. But they have also like a submersive one as well.
They also were talking about biologics, where they'll say like, were there any like operators of the craft in the crashed ship? And the person will answer so vaguely, where they'll say, we did find biologics.
There were biologics retrieved at the site. Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
yep,
exactly.
Mm-hmm.
And so what that means to me is like, okay, if they're not saying that they have bodies or pilots, but they're saying biologics, what if there's like, have you ever seen those like those sci-fi movies where they get into the alien ship and it's like a big like roiling skin like organism with like slime and like scales and shit, but inside, and that's how everything works?
Yes.
What if that's actually what it's fucking like?
We'll see.
Like it's being piloted telepathically by some entity somewhere else, but it's being piloted like an organism.
I don't know if it's this year, but I do believe that it's in this Pluto cycle for sure, because that's 30 years anyway. But I think that full disclosure is coming. Mm-hmm. I think we're all going to be. It's interesting. I think that humans are going to handle it extremely well. And I think the reason is because I think humanity is going to recognize immediately the stupidity of thinking or believing that in any way at all it would be possible that we were this special, one-of-a-kind thing in a universe with trillions of stars. Mm-hmm. Is there anything we can do about it? Yeah, we have to do something about it. I can't continue.
I just thought that she would stop once she realized like it's not working.
Okay, can you stop, please? Now it's become an emergency.
Why are you a problem? Why are you being a problem?
I think all the lives are going to start like this while we have this puppy, which is like a week.
Oh, okay. Well, let's see what that happens.
Deanna watched Nuremberg last night and thought it was great. I want to see it. That's Russell Crowe, right? I think a friend of mine worked with that producer or something.
I mean, this is all the only idea I got, so let's see if this works.
I don't think that's going to stop her from barking at all.
Okay, well.
Can we just bring her in so that we don't? Because she's just going to go nuts again. This is just going to be interrupted
You should have
quickly.
told me that before I started all of this, bro. Okay, what is this? Is that your best idea? Because I'll do that.
Yeah, bring her in.
Okay. Can you talk to people?
I want to see
I feel like I'm being like.
I want to see Nuremberg very much. Hey, what's up, Archival Bacon? Blent? Isn't that fucking funny? I read it today, Blent. I felt so stupid after looking it up. I was like, oh my God. And then I read it in the sentence and I was like, of course, but Blent? I hate when writers do that, when they like throw me off completely and then they just like toss in like a very simple word that I should have known. Embarrasses me. Welcome back, Angela.
I have a theory. I have a theory about this puppy.
What's your theory about this?
I think that
Blabbermouth puppy.
puppies are, or at least this one, is susceptible to light and the quality of light. Because in here we have white lights.
Bright
And
white
I
lights.
know I've seen studies about children in classrooms where they tested whether they had a tungsten light or a white light. And the children were all more restless under white light, which is what we have here. So I think the dog can't relax because we're not tungsten. Mm-hmm. She's like in work mode, you know? They say that that's why offices are always white light, because it keeps people awake. And I think that's what's happening to her.
We're just robots.
Fucking puppies.
Okay,
where were we?
It's just so funny that Archival Raccoon was like, Blent?
A scientist said, I do behavioral neuroscience, so the experiments take a long time. That's fascinating.
Yeah.
I'm not doing anything like that. I researched the biology of substance use disorder.
What do you
Again,
mean?
fascinating.
I can't remember what were we hoping she was doing?
Aliens.
Oh, aliens. Yeah, that would have been cool. But this is really cool too. Science is just damn cool. Listen, it's my favorite like little hobby topic is just science. And I read all of it. Like I love everything. I love, I mean, a lot of times I'll find myself like, whoa, like it's like a straight up paper that, peers are reading. And I'm like, I start reading. I'm like, oh, this sounds really great. And then I'm like fucking 3 sentences and I'm like, holy fuck, do I not know what's going on right now? Like it is so hard to decipher.
It's definitely like
as a layman.
You can tell how skilled a science writer is if they can write it and like explain like I'm 5 type shit, where
Yeah, it's my favorite thing when it happens
distill it.
because then I can like understand some science and walk away with like all this like amazement because science truly amazes me. Mm-hmm. It amazes me. I'm fascinated by it every day.
Scientists amaze me because I tried to become one. I was on the medical school track and I didn't make it past organic chemistry.
No.
And every scientist has made it past organic chemistry. And
All right.
I don't know how. I don't. I mean, I guess maybe like if you're in like statistical science or mathematics or something, maybe you don't have to do organic chemistry, but especially like biology of substance. Yeah. Biologists.
What dog is that?
I don't know.
There's a dog outside.
I don't have all the answers for
Bad
what
luck.
the dogs are doing because I'm in here.
I'm looking at astrology for all the bad dog luck. Bad dog luck? Bad luck dog. I don't know how to put it.
It's everybody's out of town and they want people to watch their dogs. And sometimes that's me. So I have too many dogs now.
We should watch Nuremberg.
You got it.
Would you be interested in it? Mm-hmm. It's Russell Crowe.
I like Russell Crowe fine.
All
I really
right.
liked him in the Nice Guys. I thought he was really great.
So let's talk resolutions a little bit because I've kind of rethought it. Last night I was like, oh, man, I think I just was kind of wussing out on the whole thing.
You copped out on your New Year's
I copped out on my New Year's resolution, copped out on like, hey, what do I want to get out of it? Before, I guess maybe we should like just touch on some of the astrology. I just laid out some of it.
See, you're copping out again. I wanted to hear about your New Year's resolutions.
Well, so the one that I think is probably the most important is to I'm focused on 2 things. This resolution is really kind of 2-pronged. It's to find an editor for To Real Life and bring on an editor. video editor so that we can grow the live and publish shorts and other videos that come out of here because we have some really fun moments.
Yeah, but that doesn't seem like a resolution. That seems like a goal. Usually resolutions have to do with
Don't
habits.
police me. Don't police me.
But that's not a resolution.
It's my, so what? Okay. I said it. It's been said. It's on the record.
Okay. Are you going to come up with like an actual New Year's resolution?
Listen, man. You know, can we start this thing off
they're
right?
They're not like tasks.
Listen, man. No one's making you the boss here. Like, let's just.
That's true. I'm not the resolution police, but
what's going on, man? Let me just do my thing, man.
I'm just curious about what your resolutions
If I say
are.
I want to spin and twirl, I want to spin and twirl.
That would be a New Year's resolution. There
Hey,
you go.
you don't get to decide is the point I'm trying to make. And I want to begin writing and write regularly on my novel. So those are two things that I think I just want to get busy on. I want to figure out how to incorporate them into my life immediately. Yeah, I want to.
When are you going to start?
And I want to read more. So that's the whole trinity of that little blot. Don't start holding me accountable on January 1st. Okay?
This is usually when they start, though, isn't it?
Don't. You can't start holding me accountable.
Well,
on January 1st.
This does segue
You can go like next week and be like, hey, so remember last week when you said all that bullshit?
It does segue really well into the astrology, though, because all the astrologers we follow are talking about how January is really the only time you have to exploit your ability to plan and really organize, and everything else is just gonna the tables are gonna flip over after January.
Yeah, so. February it starts getting ugly.
It starts getting really dicey,
and it's gonna stay dicey well into March.
So if you want to get onto your New Year's resolution, start building those habits now.
It'll start cooling off a little bit around the end of April, but it'll still be pretty choppy into mid-May. But right around mid-May, things will suddenly start to feel much better, and that will last all the way till the end of June. So there's just 6 weeks of like heel-clicking good times. Nothing's in retrograde. Jupiter's in great shape. The moon's in a great spot. Nothing's getting no harsh aspects on any of the outer planets. So just jolly good time from mid-May until June, and then I think we start. I think when's that gnarly eclipse? This is right around. Is that July?
Let me see.
The Leo, is it a Leo eclipse? I thought it was Aquarius and Virgo. But then I remember.
I was not prepared. Sorry.
We got a minute.
All right. So let me look up the eclipses. If you guys ever want to look up when the eclipses are.
Oh, scientist says that's because organic chemistry sucks, although it does make you good at drawing hexagons.
Oh, I know. If all that it was drawing diagrams of the molecular whatever the fuck, I don't know, I would do a really good job. I was really good at like seeing what it was and then writing it down, either as a drawing or as the list. I can't even remember. It was like a fucking century ago that I took those classes. But I took organic chemistry 3 fucking times and never passed it. I was like, I am fucking determined to pass this. Everybody says it's the most difficult and they pass it too, and so I can do it, and I never did. It was just too hard. Even if I got really good at like the first where's this website? Even if I got really good like in the first half, I always failed in the second because it gets so much harder. Okay, 2026.
I hate that when it like levels up so crazy. Like you like the foundation principles or whatever there, and then you're like, okay, I think I got this, and they're like, no, you don't.
No, it's seriously like a hazing ritual. Like I think they put people through organic chemistry to see if you're ready for a career in like soul crushing. These, like, are you ready for the rest of what a horrible, like medical residency and all of that?
Yeah.
They just like squash you. Okay, so Cafe Astrology has a really goofy name, but it's a really wonderful website for.
Cafe Astrology is kind of cool. It's kind of cool.
It's kind of goofy.
I'll meet you there for a tea.
So we have a solar eclipse February 17th in Aquarius.
Right.
And then
I thought that was lunar.
They always happen in pairs. There's a solar eclipse and then the lunar eclipse that happens after. It's in the same lunar cycle.
Mm-hmm.
So the solar eclipse, February 17th, the lunar eclipse, March 3rd, that's in Virgo. And then again, August 12th and August 28th is a solar and lunar eclipse.
Right, and that's the one in Leo, right?
Leo and Pisces.
Leo and Pisces.
Yeah.
Guys, Leo and Pisces, it's all of the eclipses. The eclipses this year are in rough shape. They're all in rough shape. There's no other way to put it. But the eclipses that we are approaching, super rough shape.
Okay, let me just make a chart for this because you want to talk about what's happening with them.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
I can actually pop
Talk
it up
amongst
here.
yourselves.
Angela will give us the planetary configuration because it is rather
Planetary configuration.
there's an awesome configuration to talk about. It's really quite amazing. Not surprisingly, it's very slow today on the channel.
Oh, I know. There's not really a whole lot going on, is there? In the news, everybody's
just
on
like-
vacation mode. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. So, do you want me to compare this to Trump's chart? Is that what you were trying to do?
No, not necessarily. Well, I mean, that Leo eclipse, if you want to talk about Trump, and I don't necessarily think we need to.
I like to make predictions about maybe when he's gonna fucking quit. You know? Okay, yeah. So it's not good for him. This is the February 17th eclipse.
Yeah. In Aquarius.
This eclipse, let me just back up the minutes. No, forward.
So this eclipse is, opposite his.
I'm actually going to
First
change
house.
the location to Washington, D.C. real quick.
So is he a Leo sun?
He is a Leo. No, he's a Leo rising.
So this is happening opposite his ascendant, which is very interesting, obviously.
Yeah, I wish you could put this up. I have the time if you want to. I have the time for you to input.
Yeah, let me see if I can. Well, I'll tinker around here for a second. Well, are you going to explain some stuff while I tinker?
Yeah.
While I tinker?
District of Columbia, Washington.
Washington, District of Columbia, yeah.
Is that the... Speaking of East Coast cities, which, we're not speaking of, but Mamdani got inaugurated today.
He did, yeah.
So expect a bunch of fucking wealthy people to leave like they said they would if he ever got elected.
George Clooney did.
Oh, yeah.
I told you about
He
that.
didn't leave New York, though.
No, he didn't. I told you about that, and then when a friend, and I said, if you remember when I brought it up, I was like, how it must be nice to be rich where you can just jump to the front of the line.
I know.
Well, a French minister has spoken up about it.
What?
They're like, this is some privileged shit right here. What's going on here? This guy can't even speak French.
Oh my God, are you serious?
Yeah, except other, and then he quoted him about what he said about his ability to speak French, which was like absolutely horrendous. He's like, he can't even speak French, and you're putting him ahead of what is going on here? This is like, some privileged
Oh, really?
bullshit.
So it's a scandal now.
And then so somebody, not really, because it's politicized. And then so somebody says, they says that, oh, it was like, whatever, one of the people who signed the certificate or some shit. They said, this is an amazing opportunity for France to have somebody like George Clooney move there. And I'm just like, are you fucking serious, dude? He's an actor.
Sorry.
But they're like, oh, for the arts or whatever. And it's just like,
They have the Cannes Film Festival, right? Isn't that in France?
I don't understand what they're even talking about. Like, so everybody's going to move to France now?
So they're...
Leo won't. Leo's going to move to Italy. We know that. He owns Italy. He bought it. Got a great deal.
Are you putting up a chart?
I'm working on it.
Okay, because when you are ready, I can give you these details to input because you really should see it. When you put up a chart on the screen, can you use your mouse and does it show?
Listen, man.
'Cause I want you to be
asking
able
too
to-
many questions too fast. I don't even know if I got it up. I need you to just slow your damn horses.
Okay.
Can we just
Simmer down.
simmer down? It's a lot you ask.
Okay, because what I'm seeing here is that on the February eclipse, and remember, Donald Trump was born on an eclipse. So eclipses are significant times in his life. He is more affected by eclipses than someone who's not born on an eclipse. Okay? So Donald
Yes.
Trump's sun is in exact opposition to his moon in his natal chart.
Right?
And let's see, this is a... So he is born during a lunar eclipse. The solar eclipse in Aquarius is happening exactly across from his ascendant.
Say that again. I'm busy trying to fucking twink the hunga. What'd you say?
You're what?
Twink the hunga, man. I'm just trying to get shit done.
This eclipse on February 17th is happening exactly across his ascendant.
Okay.
And the ascendant is usually
Directly across the ascendant.
exactly
That's so
in
gnarly.
opposition to his ascendant.
Yeah, no, that's just crazy to me.
I don't know if you guys remember the incident in Butler, Pennsylvania at his rally
Butler, Pennsylvania.
when he may or may not have been an attempt on his life, you know?
Right,
maybe that
right.
was a scam. Maybe, maybe it happened.
Yes.
We don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, that happened in the eclipse window. Anywho, so this is activating one of the angles of his chart, which are extremely personal. This is not something that I would wish on anybody, personally. So I don't know what's going to happen. I don't know if something physically is going to happen to him or professionally, or maybe something horrible in his relationship. I have no idea because it's happening in his seventh house, which is the house of, the topics of the seventh house are one-on-one partnerships, like business partnerships, romantic relationships, people who are your closest friends. And that's where the eclipse is happening. Anyway, it's just really interesting. Also, he has a Pluto opposition happening for several years. So his Pluto is in his first house at 10 degrees, and the transit Pluto is currently at 4 degrees in the opposite house. Mm-hmm. A Pluto opposition is extreme tension, which I'm sure we can all tell that he's feeling. Like,
is extreme tension.
It's going to feel like the vice is gripping him like tighter. Pluto oppositions are just kind of like everybody goes through them at his age, just because that's how long it takes for Pluto to go around the zodiacal wheel. Okay. And it usually will feel like kind of not a midlife crisis, but that sort of feeling where like everything is changing. Because of his age, a lot of times people will experience a lot of their friends pass away. They experience some sort of loss, some sort of crisis. They're either retiring or being forced to retire. Like it's just a big change in their lives. So that's what he's experiencing now. Anyway, not to make the whole reading about Trump, but that this eclipse is happening in Aquarius and it is co-present in the same sign with Pluto and Mars makes me think that February 17th might be some ignition point of some kind of big, I don't know, some big action, how would you say? I mean, it's an air sign, so maybe it's just like rhetoric. Maybe it's just rhetorical, like because air signs love to communicate ideas. So maybe having Mars, which is like the warrior planet, I mean, speaking so simplified, and then Pluto, which is, known for being the destroyer, underworld significator, right?
Yeah, and power struggles, and
in the
dramatic
same
endings
sign,
and new beginnings.
In the same sign as the eclipse. Who knows? February 17th. Could be super weird for everybody all over the world.
It's going to be a very interesting. Listen, this eclipse season, I'm serious. Like this one is like all the astrologers are talking about it. Like
yeah.
it's a really hardcore.
Because Mars and Pluto together, if you think about like if Pluto's the like infamously known as the destroyer.
I mean, they kind of always talk
initiates
about
huge transformations. Outer planets like Pluto, Neptune, and Uranus are really indifferent to human suffering or human goals or anything because they're outer planets. They kind of affect the whole world, and we're influenced by them as part of the collective. So however these things come through in your chart is like it doesn't necessarily have personal influence, but you're kind of just like dragged around in the tide with everybody else. But having Pluto, an outer planet, with Mars, which is a very personal and kind of like malefic planet, which usually stands for action, but also aggressiveness. It could be initiative, but it could also be like instigating, I don't know, anger. It's like the self-determination of a warrior is kind of what Mars gives us, which has its benefits and its detriments, Obviously, it can lead us into trouble. But having both of them together, it's volcanic. What Ren Butler describes the Mars-Pluto dynamic is pyrocatharsis, which is like cleansing by fire. And it's happening in the
Cleansing by
same
fire.
house as the same sign as the eclipse on February 17th. Are you with me?
Yeah, I am. I'm just trying to see if I can get this.
What's it take?
Just give me 1 second.
Okay, so that's one. But
I can't do it today.
we also have, that's okay. But on that same day, there's Venus in Pisces, which is very nice and lovely.
Venus and Pisces.
Venus in Pisces is very, very romantic energy. So
Yeah,
I
there's
don't know.
yeah.
I mean, it's not going to be all bad for everybody, of course.
It's certainly not. No. I actually, this is my 4th and 10th. So it's a very interesting time for me, for sure.
So Venus in Pisces happening at the same time on February 17th.
By the way, just so people don't, just so people understand. So in astrology, the angular houses have a peculiar or a particular sort of power.
Angular meaning like a cross.
So specifically,
Like-
one, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, so it's
They
like
can oppose,
it's
they can
1,
square.
7, 10, and 4.
Correct.
Right? Those are the angular houses. So it's like a big cross on your
So
chart.
one of the first things that astrologers look at a chart is the angular houses and their rulers.
They have the most any planets in your angular houses have the most influence on you personally because
Yeah.
of their relationship to your first house, which is the only house in the whole chart that is only about you.
So that also means that when there's transiting planets through your angular houses, you get a supercharged version of that such event. The weather is more particularly energized.
Yeah, like the clouds raining on you.
Right. It's like
Or the sun shining on you.
Yeah, you ever been in one of those? Right, exactly.
Yeah.
So it goes both ways. So yeah, that's what we're looking at.
But just to say a little bit more about this eclipse, what's so weird is that it's super dicey and kind of scary sounding, right? Where you've got like Mars and Pluto doing their pyrocatharsis in the same sign as the eclipse, which is
It's a terrible thing because it's a combining of the two.
Yes, I know,
So
but listen.
it's bringing. Well, I'm just trying to explain to
I
people
just wanted
Go ahead.
That was just to prelude what I'm saying about the benefic planets, which are Venus, which is known for like loveliness and beauty and romance and harmony and all of these other wonderful things.
Harmony
Comfort,
is big in a
comfort, money, like Venus rules those things, right? Venus is in the sign of its exaltation that same day, right? So Venus is in Pisces, which is
Yeah.
a wonderful place.
Sure.
It's very happy there.
Yeah.
Jupiter is the other benefic. This is known for like social relations that are joyful and beneficial. There's, expansion, abundance, good
Knowledge.
fortune.
well,
Yeah, like wisdom.
wisdom.
That's Jupiter, and Jupiter is in its sign of exaltation, where it's super, super happy. So it's kind of like it's such a weird, like seesaw.
Well, there's just some
on this
offsetting.
day.
There's some offsetting energy there.
Yeah.
And the eclipses, remembering what eclipses do is that they're not necessarily. They can be very explosive on the day of, or very have a huge effect on people's lives the day of, and they will. But typically, what they do is there's a cycle to them.
Yeah.
So, and that cycle lasts the entire year.
The eclipse window is about a month long.
Yeah.
It's usually when we think about like, eclipse energy is influencing us. And it's the week before this one. So it starts on February 11th and it goes until mid-March.
Well, I think it goes through the whole cycle too, because like you have, obviously you have this in Aquarius, and then you'll have the Leo one.
Yeah, but that's later in the year.
Yeah, I'm saying, but that's the full cycle. That's the full cycle. That's the new
I
cycle.
think the eclipse cycle is they only talk about the two eclipses, the solar and the lunar, that are happening back to back. And then there's like 6 months in between.
No. Happiness just said, Happy New Year's to the best podcast ever.
It's so sweet. Sometimes I worry that like,
Believe
especially when we're talking about astrology, it's kind of in the weeds, Sometimes I feel like it must be boring.
Well, hey, listen, is everyone a great one? No, just ask Cosmic Urgency. Just like ask Cosmic Urgency. He'll be like, yo, that one was a dud. Yo, guys, you owe me a good one because that one was a dud and I spent my whole afternoon.
I do think it's just really interesting, specifically for Donald Trump. These eclipses are very
Fascinating. They're fascinating.
They're engaging his ascendant degree in a antagonistic way. And I don't. So it's just really weird. So check it out. So let me just draw the picture for you. In Donald Trump's first house, he has his ascendant, Pluto and Mars. The transiting planets in his 7th house is going to be the ascendant, Pluto, and Mars, and an eclipse. So he has these house oppositions
Yes.
to his ascendant. Exactly. I don't know what that means for him. I don't know that I would wish that on anybody. I don't know what's going to happen, but something is going to happen.
I do wish I could put this chart up for you guys.
Maybe we won't even know about it because obviously everything involving the president is like super secretive, especially this one.
Yeah.
You know, it's not like he's known for transparency, but holy fuck, like guys.
I just opened up my software and I got Stacy's chart up. Yes, you, Stacy.
Yeah, we're working on it. These things are
I'm actually going to email you probably tomorrow.
hopefully tomorrow. I really want to catch up on this. I'm so sorry that I've kept everybody waiting. I feel like I've made bad offerings, you know.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me go. New chart. And
Do you want to pull this up?
actually, you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to put. Yes, I do. Is this the eclipse?
Yes, so I can give you the date and time.
Yep. Go ahead.
Okay, so it's going to be Washington, D.C., but in the software it goes Dist of Columbia is the state, and then the city is Washington. So if you just write in Dist, you can
Dist.
usually do the pull-down menu.
Washington.
Yeah. Washington, District of Columbia, okay? And then the eclipse,
Oh, what's this? The city is what? DC?
Washington.
Washington.
The state is Dist of Columbia in the software. Did you screw it up?
It's
It's not? Okay, we'll do New York then. Close enough, right?
District of Columbia.
It says Dist of Columbia. Do you want me to just type it in for you and then so you can continue hosting your show?
No, you can't type it in here. It's a different software. It's not the same. Okay, never mind. I'm not going to pull it up.
Okay.
What a pain in the ass.
Sorry we didn't prepare better for this. It would be fun to show the charts. But you know, we have until February to show everybody what a clusterfuck this is for Donald Trump.
Yeah, I'll get some charts ready for you guys and I'll show it to you guys.
Okay, so here we go. And then the next one is March 3rd.
Dale looks like a burglar today. Dude, I'm here to steal a good year.
I'm here to steal your heart.
I'm here to steal your heart. Listen, man, it's not my best outfit. I don't disagree. I mean, I'm not really a fashionable guy. As I said in the book, you know, to quote Gord, I'm the tragically hip. I got a real bum's eye for clothes.
All right. Are we going through the whole thing? Do you want to know about March eclipse? I feel like that was enough. Do you want to move on? Hello? Am I talking to myself? Mr. Wheatley, are you here?
Yeah, we can move on.
Why are you ignoring me?
Because I'm trying to still make it work and I can't.
Don't make it work.
It's very upsetting. It pisses me off because it's like it shouldn't be difficult. Like they make it all difficult in the fields, and like it's just like the District of Columbia that makes it all weird.
Yeah, I know. The other day I couldn't find
I could have just done it here though. I didn't have to do the District of Columbia.
I couldn't find the capital city of a country because it didn't have it in the fucking pull down menu. Archival Raccoon is asking, is there a simple explanation for what an eclipse does? Yes, there is a simple explanation. It's basically like it sounds kind of woo-woo because there's like a belief system involved in the lunar nodes, right? Like so the moon makes this weird. Have you ever seen the path of the moon as it traverses in the sky? You've seen those like people who compile a bunch of pictures and it looks like a big figure 8. So the nodes of the moon are where they traverse the ellipse of the sun, right? So like there's points in that figure 8 that the moon traces as it goes through through the whole year. Okay. The lunar nodes are mathematical points where it traverses it goes up or down below this horizon line that they've deemed to be the I think the sun's motion through the sky. Okay.
Yeah.
According to the Earth. Okay. So what they say is that when the lunar nodes are aligning with the sun and moon's full moon or new moon, when they align perfectly, and it's not always like an exact conjunction by degree. Sometimes it's just close to it.
Yeah, so you're getting these different types of eclipses.
But it's the closest to the nodes that the full moon or the new moon is in that cycle. So that's what February 17th is the lunar eclipse. It means, what they're saying is that it's kind of like the fates take over and kind of initiate changes that we are unable to initiate on our own or have been ignoring. So a lot of times people will say that it'll that eclipses, or at least the eclipse window, sometimes the influence is like a few weeks after, but it'll initiate big beginnings or sudden endings. It's almost like
so here's
like the fates kind of like flip the tables that we aren't willing to flip.
Yeah.
And it's out of our hands is basically the way that the ancients, the eclipses, usually they started to notice the eclipses, evidently. I mean, from what little I've read about people translating the ancient texts, is that it was usually like bad things would happen to the king. And right around the eclipse times when the sun and the moon were doing spooky shit. And they were like, oh, this is really significant. Where like no matter what we do to try to protect the king or the kingdom, the eclipses seem to signify that the fates take over and do the thing that creates a sudden beginning or sudden ending or a big beginning.
Yeah. They also can like highlight transformation and purpose in life and, these kinds of things. But that's like, I think, a really good explanation. Absolutely. It's more or less, but think about it like as transformative, not as something, small. Relatively, these things are, bigger and more profound moments in your life. And, again, they don't necessarily appear immediately, and they don't necessarily get activated in every single eclipse. To the extent that they're so, deeply important to the life.
Right. Like also,
so there's a way in which the eclipse is going to interact with your planets within your chart. So there's that, and those aspects matter a great deal. So, for example, you were talking about Donald Trump and how the eclipse is exact opposite his ascendant.
Yeah.
That means the eclipse has the potential to have a profound effect on him.
In an oppositional force type of way.
And that's how eclipses work. So if the eclipse is happening in your first house, it's blasting your relationships. If it's happening in your seventh house, across from your ascendant,
personal house,
it's blasting onto your personal life.
Yeah.
So the first one is that Donald Trump is going to experience. He's also going to have a very, very severe Leo eclipse a few months later. But in this eclipse coming February, it's right in his face. Like this one's right on his fucking door. And that doesn't happen often in life at all. Like most people do not experience what Donald Trump is going to experience astrologically this February. So what is it, February 20 what?
Dude, I don't know if you caught it. In his first house, he was born in this first house. Yeah. He has his ascendant, obviously, it's his first house. He also has Pluto.
Isn't it on that Funky Dora thing?
Yes.
What's it called?
It's a fixed star called Regulus.
Regulus, that's it.
He was born with his
Regulus.
ascendant on Regulus.
I'm going to tell you what a Regulus is. You're going to blow your mind.
The reason why Donald Trump is like Teflon Don, why nothing ever happens to him, is because he was born on the fixed star Regulus.
Yeah, I got to tell you, I got to read it to them.
Regulus is like...
Let me read it to them.
It's like known for extremely high heights, and everybody is always trying to take the dude down, but he won't be taken down. Because he's destined for this extreme superior, fucking.
According to Astrology King, the fixed star Regulus.
Yeah, that's a good site for this.
Alpha Leonis is a first magnitude quadruple star system located in the heart of the Lion constellation Leo, magnitude 1.3. Alpha Leonis looks like a single star, but is composed of 4 stars organized into 2 pairs. Chick. Let me see. Okay. Leo is officially traditionally named Regulus. The formation of this name begins with the Greek. Damn it! Where's the actual shit?
I know.
Royal star. Regulus was one of the 4 guardians. Oh. At one time, they marked the 2 equinoxes and 2 solstices. In other cultures, too, those named 4 stars. Oh. Where is it?
It's in that site, but there's like a paragraph where he talks about what it means. It's very thorough. That's why Astrology King is another really good website for this stuff.
It really is, yeah. Well, do you want to... Regulus is the natural symbol for glory and of the height and power. So I guess this is
this is it.
Okay, here it is. Regulus, the little king in the heart of the lion, called the royal star, may convey royal properties, noble mind, frankness, and courage. The importance of this fixed star is accentuated by its nearness to the ecliptic. Its effect is in the best sense that of Jupiter and Mars. When Mars or Saturn is with Regulus, especially exciting events are always recorded.
That's what he's got.
And that's what he's got.
He has Mars.
Assassinations, coups d'etats, revolutions, the overthrow of heads of state, and similar events. I want to repeat this coming off a website. This is what Donald Trump has coming up in this fucking eclipse. I mean, this is going to get activated. When Mars or Saturn is with Regulus, especially exciting events are always recorded.
Well, he was born with that, with Mars.
Assassination, coups d'etats, revolutions, the overthrow of heads and state, and
so it
events.
makes him a usurper.
Yes.
It makes him a king. It makes him impossible to defeat.
Yes.
It makes it so that he never faces consequences, but he's always being met with consequences.
Yes.
But he never has to succumb to them.
And let me finish. So the star Regulus is given the double nature of the planets Mars and Jupiter. Regulus is one of the most fortunate stars in the heavens. It portends glory, riches, and power to all who are born under its influence. Think about that, man. This fucking dude, like, he epitomizes Regulus. It's just crazy, and it's like on his chart. Proculus called Regulus the royal star and asserted that those born under it have a royal-like nativity. In judicial astrology, however, the dimming of the star presaged evil times. The Ninevite tablet, according to R.A. Allen, states, if the star of the great lion is gloomy, the heart of the people will not rejoice. I don't even know what that means.
It's in medieval astrology.
How does it get all gloomy? Like you're like,
I don't know.
It's gloomy.
Well, so I think that not everybody who's born so Heidi Klum is born with her ascendant on Regulus. All right. So that's a really good example of like, you're not always going to end up like the baby is not always going to grow up to be an adult Donald Trump, but he happened to have been raised by the worst people. And he happened to have been given absolutely no guardrails for developing character, like he was never, ever encouraged to become the regal figure he was supposed to become. He just ended up becoming a fucking con artist instead.
This is a great article on it. I mean, it goes on and on. There's so much. It's a phenomenal thing. Like whenever Regulus is involved, the weirdest thing about it though is like it's a fleeting moment astrologically. Whenever planets pass over it, unless you get like at some point in some life where they might get like one of the really super slow planets that sit on top of it, like a Pluto or But for the most part, they just zip right by because it's a fixed star. So you can't use it electionally. So it's this like huge, powerful thing, but it's like it serves no purpose except on the natal chart.
But I wanted to tell you about how Donald Trump's natal chart has his ascendant Mars and Pluto in his first house.
Yeah.
And then in his seventh house, the transiting ascendant Mars and Pluto are there at this time.
It's insanity. It's insanity.
At the time of
and that's all
eclipse.
opposing. That's like when you think about Mars opposing Mars, that's war. When you think about Pluto opposing Pluto, it's utter destruction.
I don't know what's going to happen.
Like it's utter destruction.
Hey, cut that out.
And then when you have that upon a king, right? It's catastrophic. So who knows what's going to happen? But this February, dude, am I watching? Like, I'm just going to be fucking...
what just sucks is that he's not just a guy who's going to probably suffer some sort of event in his life. He's a guy who's like, we're all affected by if he suffers some kind of fucking event in his life.
Insane, bro. Insane. Anyway, so that's some of the astrology. Then there's some really great astrology in May. I, for some reason, I should have written down the actual aspects, but you guys don't even know what they are. So what's really the point? May, just things get great in May because a part of all this, like for example, there's an eclipse in Virgo and Mercury's in retrograde and conjoining with Mars during that event, which is really, really crazy. When May comes around, retrogrades are over. Obviously, we've got the respite from the eclipses. We're not going to be back in the eclipses until fall. And so from middle of May all the way until the end of June, things are going to be pretty chipper. Jupiter's in great shape in Capricorn, in Cancer.
Until like mid-June.
Well,
and then it moves into Leo.
And then it'll slip into Leo. We're at the end of June, more toward the end of the June. But yeah, I believe it's at the end of June. And then it'll slip into Leo. But it'll be in Cancer, and it actually has a cool conjunction.
Jupiter's exalted in Cancer. That's why it's such a big deal. This last year has been really fortunate. And it's been kind of like a protective... Like in Cancer, Jupiter protects the home. And so that can speak broadly to like, your greater land and country and, your neighborhood. And so I think it's been very protective. When it moves into Leo, we're no longer going to have that protection. So I don't know what that means for the rest of the year.
Yeah. And then there's also there's also another really great transit at that time. It might be Venus. And for you Capricorns,
Capricorn suns.
Yeah. Our January is pretty sweet. Like Capricorn is a loaded up month. It's got, you
have a whole parade of planets.
You got a parade of planets going through, scrubbing on your sun, your moon, or your ascendant, or whatever might be important, and wherever in that house it may trigger. For me, it's my third house. It could be why I'm itching to get, you might as a Capricorn, feel the urge not only to start something, but feel some kind of harmonious relationship with that desire, or with that task. Like for example, I'm talking about starting writing, and Capricorn's a very, it's a cardinal sign. So Capricorns are good at starting shit. Like they can start a lot of shit, but they're not so great at finishing it. Not unless, they do eventually, because they are Saturnian, it's a Saturn ruled, sign.
I think nobody's good at finishing shit. Especially, I think our modern age has made it so nobody's good at finishing shit. I feel like all of us have like destroyed attention spans.
Fixed signs are good at finishing shit. That's why I'm actually pretty good at finishing shit.
Yeah,
I'm a fixed sign.
My New Year's resolution is to read more. But I was sitting the other day, I was like, well, I begin a ton of books. Like I read the introduction and the first chapter of every book I have. I just always put them down and don't pick them up again. And so I feel like my New Year's resolution is to finish more books or like fix my attention span somehow. It's trash.
So there's a lot to look forward to there in terms of the that middle of the year mark going in, and then things are going to get haywire again as they move toward that crazy Leo eclipse, which I think comes in, is it September?
I
can tell you, I have my eclipses.
Yeah,
chart.
so there's an eclipse. August 12th is a total solar eclipse. So that one is worth checking out. I think that it's going to be visible in Spain.
Oh, yeah?
If you want a vacation.
I'm going to go to Spain and just check that one out.
Spain is pretty hot in August, though, so I don't know how pleasant that's going to be.
February 17th is the crazy one on Trump. Then we got March 3rd.
March 3rd is a total lunar eclipse.
A lunar eclipse is very exciting.
On the Eastern time zone, it's 6:38 a.m., so if you want to wake up early to see it. Then the total solar eclipse, August 12th, 2026, that is in the afternoon. So at least people in Spain or along that peninsula are going to be partying.
Oh, so it's August. Let me calculate this chart.
And then August 28th is the last eclipse of the year, partial lunar eclipse. And that is around midnight. That's so those are Leo and Pisces eclipses.
Yeah, this Leo eclipse is right on his is he? Where's Regulus?
Regulus is 29 degrees Leo.
At 29. And this is at 20 degrees.
He also has Uranus has been I think Butler, Pennsylvania was Uranus exactly on his MC. His MC degree being his professional indicator, like the point that indicates what your vocation and your public image is going to be. And he had Uranus, which is like the big revolutionary, exactly on there. And that was the, what was that point? It's like 28 or 25 degrees in Taurus is another one of those fixed stars, which.
Fixed stars in Taurus. I'll look it up.
It was the one that, that everybody was like, yeah, this is about beheading.
Yeah.
And he almost had his head lopped off.
It's
I don't
true.
know whether it was a scam or not, but like, fuck. There's an astrologer in the UK that predicted it that day before it happened. And of course it didn't happen, but it could have.
Aldebaran.
No. I forget
The
what it's
most
called.
prominent fixed star in Taurus is Aldebaran, the bullseye, a bright orange giant that signals honor and success, but
No,
warns
it's
against unethical shortcuts.
It's at 25 or 28 degrees Taurus. I can't remember.
I shall cheat on this exam.
It's an open book exam. It doesn't matter. Anywho, I don't know what's going to happen, but everybody seems to be agreeing that January is kind of the only month where you can sort of like exploit how normal shit feels, at least for now, and then try to get some shit done. Do you know what I mean?
Absolutely. I don't have Donald Trump's thing. You know, this program that you should use more often on your computer because it's so badass. Like the you just go to the eclipses section and then you can just pick the eclipse and generate the chart instantly.
And it does it for you?
Yeah,
Exactly?
instantly. Yeah, I can
Because
put
it's in
up
a
any
database,
eclipse.
right?
I can. Yeah, it's just you go to the eclipse section and they're all there.
That's good.
It's really fucking easy.
Let's see.
encourage you.
Quarter Fate is with us.
What's up, Quarter Fate?
I'm a Taurus, and I don't think I've ever heard anything good about them.
Taurus? It's a great sign.
I don't think I've ever heard anything bad about them.
I mean, there's some stuff, but Tauruses are great. They're wonderful. First of all, they can be great cooks. Start with that. But
If you're a Taurus sun or a Taurus rising, it means very different things.
listen, man, the Taurus is ruled by Venus. Taurus is exalted by the moon.
Yeah.
Taurus is an absolutely fucking dynamite
I
fucking
know. It's a super
sign.
fortunate.
Yeah.
It's super fortunate to have any strong placements in Taurus.
Yeah. To have a good Taurus is to be. I have a 7th house Taurus, and it's probably the only thing that's treated me well in my entire life, really. In the end,
Planet rulerships really say so much about astrology. So let's talk about Taurus. Is ruled by Venus.
yeah,
Venus has two separate signs that it rules. So Venus rules Libra, which is an air sign, and Taurus, which is an earth sign.
that's right.
Okay. Air signs are masculine, sort of like, not literally masculine, feminine, like gender, like genitals, but like the sort of character expressions of masculine versus feminine.
Yin and yang as well.
Yeah, like receptive versus, what's the opposite? Self-determination. Okay. Anyway, so an earth sign manifestation of Venus, like the way that Venus expresses itself through a feminine earth sign is usually through comfort and beauty and beautiful things. Like Taurus, people with strong Taurus placements usually have a really great knack for making a comfortable home.
Yeah.
The moon is exalted in Taurus, which means that you have
I can show up, by the way, in a Taurus fourth house, a Taurus first house, like, in a situation where somebody might be, whatever that rising is, where they have a Taurus in the 4th. What would that be? It's the 7th, so would that be Capricorn? So if you're like a Capricorn rising, you've got Taurus in the.
I think if this
4th,
person says I'm a Taurus, they probably mean a Taurus sun.
probably.
So that means that your expression of your creative, your creative purpose in the world is through tangible, like earthy, Venusian things, right?
Yep.
So you enjoy comfort. You probably enjoy doing tangible art forms that you can admire, Maybe you like building things. Maybe you like gardening, that kind of stuff. Mm-hmm. I just feel like they're super comfy people to be around. I think that the only negatives about Taurus is because you enjoy stability, because you feel so much more free in stability. Sometimes Taurus people are not very good at going with the flow. Sometimes when things change on them, they're uncomfortable because they appreciate stability. Like if a person with strong Taurus placements loses their job, it's probably really disorienting for them because they really appreciated having the stability. Even if it sucked, having stability is very important to them. There's also a lot of the really cool mythology about Taurus is like when you think about the Minotaur, wasn't it the Minotaur that like
I go right to that movie role.
inhabited the labyrinth and was like the one that you have to speak your riddles to?
I can't say.
There's a ton of really cool mythology about the labyrinth and being able to navigate the labyrinth. You should look into that if you're unsure about what Taurus means, because there's a lot of really cool, like Jungian archetypal psychological significations that are unique to Taurus that don't belong to anybody else. Hey, can you cut that out? Excuse me. We're trying to have a conversation in here. This dog is demanding.
It's loud.
I know.
Yeah, stability is a big thing for Taurus. Taurus folks.
Quarterface said, "Yes, I love building and making things with my hands." Well, there you go.
Yeah, that's definitely a
You
trait
like to
in
create
Taurus.
tangible things that
Absolutely.
you can then admire, or like a lot of people with strong Taurus placements love to cook. Especially if you have the moon in Taurus, then you love to cook for your loved ones. You love to nurture other people through food, and a lot of the time, it's very artistic and elaborate cooking styles. So then you can then enjoy it. But if you're like,
They're into the culinary.
if you don't ever get to enjoy the cooking, or you don't the result of your cooking, or you don't enjoy the company of the people you're cooking for, then it kind of feels a little like deflated, because that's a big part of it for you guys.
Tauruses are lovely. Tauruses are lovely sign. I mean, they're all really great. I mean, every sign has its super positives, and there's a great book we have called Archetypal Universe, and it's written by a guy named Ren Butler, and he is a student of Richard Tarnas. Richard Tarnas wrote Cosmos and Psyche, one of probably the most important astrology books ever written, but certainly written in our lifetime. And you should get a copy if you're interested in astrology. It's just absolutely mind blowing, the work that Tarnas did in that book. And they kind of evolved into this thing called archetypal astrology, where they're not as beholden to things like the houses, and they do though work aspectually, but their emphasis,
What does that mean?
like planets aspecting planets.
Oh yeah, like planets having influence on you by their communication with other planets. They do some kind of woo-woo shit that's a little bit over my head. Like a lot of these people will talk about like
Birth.
the experience of going through the birth canal as being a really formative experience for your psyche, and I'm just like, I don't fucking buy it. I also don't want to like spend my time consulting with people talking about the birth canal experience. It's just not very exciting to me.
Yeah, and they also go through like
What am I,
the
Jamie
various
Keith?
stages of gestation and like whatever.
right.
It's just like, it's weird. It gets a little weird, but it is an outstanding, form of the oracle astrology. But the book itself, it's called
Archetypal Universe.
Archetypal
by
Universe
Ren Butler.
By Ren Butler. It's outstanding.
It's a really great reference.
It's great because, and then the difference is like, because it doesn't do houses, is you just look at the rulers. So like, for example, if you have, Saturn in your, in Taurus, it also doesn't do signs. So if you got Saturn in Taurus, then you would look in the book for Saturn and Venus, or you would even look at, he has a 3 planetary like breakdown where you could do, Venus, the exaltation, right? The moon, and Saturn, the planet. And you can get a real good feel for what's going on astrologically in that moment. It's not an aspect book, so it's just about grabbing sort of the significators. Another great way to work with significators, if you guys are just trying to figure out like astrology, is
Were you
like,
talking about significators like keywords?
yeah, like keywords,
Like keywords for astrology, like
for a specific sign
like
or
Venus
whatever.
is like beauty, harmony, comfort, money.
Yeah. So this I learned from
Romance.
Chris Brennan is he goes into a thesaurus.
He does?
Yeah, and he puts so Venus is like luxury. So then he'll just go and he'll go like luxury, thesaurus. Oh I don't have my thing in front of me, so
You can't do anything on your computer today.
it's really bad. So then he'll just call out these. He'll just be like, affluence, comfort, enjoyment, extravagance, leisure, opulence, richness. These are all great significators of Venus and of the sign Taurus and of the sign Libra. Mm-hmm. which is also Venus ruled. Also Pisces to a certain extent with where Venus is exalted. So, bliss, delight, exorbitance, frill, gratification. It's really great. What I love about Archetypal Universe is that he gives you the shadow side as well.
Yeah.
So you get a really nice, sort of. But you can take you can take his book where he'll give you 10 or 12 keywords, and you can just jump onto a thesaurus and just hit those keywords and find even more sort of deep and rich ways to, to describe.
You're telling everybody how the sausage is made.
Yeah. If you want to look it up, like
You
if
want to
somebody's
make sausage.
because if somebody says to you if you know that you're Taurus, then you know you're Venus ruled, and if you're Venus ruled, learn more about what Venus is about. So dig deep. Venus has a lot of depth to her. Astrologically speaking, and she also has a shadow side that you should be aware of. Like for example, she can get, or Venus influence, or Venusian influence can blind you from the beauty. For example, like the beauty you can be so absorbed by and overcome by the beauty that you might miss out on something fundamentally important in your life. For example, so that could be a downside, which is like hedonism.
Oh yeah, like hedonism.
Like
yeah,
hedonism.
We're like not doing the work of a relationship.
Oh God, that's hilarious. Antonyms: hedonism. Mm-hmm. It's right there. Intemperance. There you go. It's pretty interesting.
Yep.
Right.
I think it's just like people say like, oh, this is negative, or this is people only have bad things to say about whatever, like Taurus or whatever. But I think that if anybody is sharing information like that, there's a fundamental misunderstanding of how astrology is an exploration of the balance of duality. There's always going to be a good outcome or a bad outcome, a good consequence or a bad consequence. All of these are gifts and challenges.
Yeah.
Like if you have a harsh placement, that is empowering you to handle something in a unique way, or it's making you susceptible to harm. But it's not all bad. Like any difficult placement is just, this is the work of refinement, right? Like as you grow into yourself and you're met by these unique challenges that maybe nobody else around you suffers from, but you do, that is your duty to figure out your way, navigate around, strategize your way through, like nothing is ever negative. It's always just an opportunity. Nothing is ever positive. It's also kind of like a trap, Like I personally have a very beneficial placement in my chart that has made me really lackadaisical and like not very serious about stuff, because it's just been like, it gives me the influence of feeling like I'm on easy street all the time. And consequently, I don't get a lot done. So it's like, even the good shit isn't all good,
Yeah, well, you get Jupiter and you get Venus together, and you've got overindulgence.
Yep, that's right.
So people are like, oh, I've got a Venus and Jupiter conjunction, and you might find yourself, putting on 20 pounds.
Oh yeah, I know too. Yeah, like Jupiter placements where they're like, where everyone's like, well, that's why you're fat.
Yeah,
because Jupiter's about expansion and abundance,
exactly.
And never feeling like you have to stop.
Yeah,
yeah.
So you lose your, and then you've got the it's basically debauchery when those two come together. It's just pure debauchery. So there's a dark side to everything. It's really cool, man. Astrology is the cool shit, man. It's mind blowing. Listen, I'm begging Angela to do this because you've already done the work. You just got to do the graphics and we'll get it ready.
Yeah.
But Justin Baldoni's chart and everything that has happened is mind blowing. Like it's mind blowing.
More than any other celebrity I've ever looked at.
I can't believe it.
Is being yanked by the hair by his planets. And he doesn't know it because because
that's not part of the Baha'i faith. The Baha'i faith is about like,
right. Well, we don't know because he,
to my understanding,
he did say the reason why I know that his birth chart is correct online is because he said on Instagram, he gave somebody his big three, like his, ascendant, rising, his rising sun and moon.
Yeah.
So he is aware of astrology, and he's in all these like breath work, therapy, yoga, fucking tantric.
He needs an astrologer.
So for sure, and he lives in Ojai, for sure he's aware of astrology. Yeah. I just don't know why he isn't being more careful. Like he must not know about his chart because it is definitely telling him exactly where the fucking landmines are, and he's stepping in them.
So we were talking about the shadows. It's very true. I just can't wait till we bring his chart to this.
I have to learn more about that though. It's like Jungian psychology to talk about shadows and shadow work, right?
Well,
Do you know what this
no.
means?
I think no. I'm not. I'm talking when I'm talking about the shadow side of things. I'm just talking about like when you look at like I don't know. Let's see.
I think it's like a whole thing. Like Carl Jung was talking about how you have to. I know Carl Jung is really big on like there are unconscious mechanisms that drive your thinking and behavior and your personality. And if you can make those unconscious patterns conscious, then you can be in control of your life. But until you bring them to the surface of consciousness, they're going to continue to control you and steer your ship maybe in the wrong direction.
Yeah, I don't think we have to get into that. I think we just stay close to the astrology, and then wherever they cross, wherever those paths cross, we'll allow them to cross on their own, kind of thing. I don't think nobody really has to, sort of be qualified just by basically reading, because it's really all we're doing. Just a couple more examples of like what we're talking about. Like so with Venus, one of the big significators of Venus is harmony. It's actually a really wonderful thing, and in astrology they have aspects, and aspects are a relationship by distance aspectually to another planet or planets, and that creates an energy or a synergy between those two planets.
Yeah, it's like they're having a specific kind of conversation, the two planets, when
and they're attributed
in an aspect to each other.
And each aspect of the major aspects is attributed to specific planets. So sextile, which is a very easygoing, harmonious aspect, is Venus, or Venus ruled, or not Venus ruled, but it's a Venusian aspect.
They say that a sextile aspect is of the nature of Venus.
Of the nature of Venus.
Is how they say it.
Thank you.
It's harmonizing. It means that two planets that are in a sextile, right? So they're one's in one house and the other planet is two houses over. They're making 60 degrees to each other. That means that they're having a very harmonious conversation with each other. They're having a very lovely time. They're influencing, they're providing an influence to you through your chart of something where they're kind of dancing.
But then you can have Venus, in a square, and a square is of the nature of Saturn.
No, a square is of the nature of Mars.
No, so, Mars is no. That's not true.
An opposition is Saturn.
No, opposition is Mars. Opposition is war.
This isn't true.
Okay, well, let's find out. I can't believe we're doing this.
An opposition is of the nature of Saturn.
Opposition.
A square is of the nature of Mars.
Okay. Is.
You'll see.
Well, I'm about to. Yeah, it's okay.
A trine is of the nature of Jupiter. So that's expansion. It's fortunate, protective. Also kind of indulgent. Deanne said that there was a funny threads where a girl is standing with wine by a Christmas tree, and she is asking for someone to Photoshop Leonardo DiCaprio into the picture. And Deanne said I was crying so hard.
What is it?
There's a funny threads where a girl is standing, she's got a glass of wine and she's standing by a Christmas tree, and she was asking for somebody to Photoshop Leonardo DiCaprio in the picture. I hope that they did. Did they do it? Did they? I want to see. Because it's really funny if they Photoshop him in like one of his villains or something, or like him making a funny face. I don't know. Hey, what are you doing?
I'm about to prove you wrong, but I'm
about to prove you wrong.
Okay. I didn't catch that again, so you have to tell me again. What happened with Stacy?
No, I'm not going to tell the people that are listening to us the third time. I'll just tell you again later.
No, just tell me now.
No, it's fine.
Come on, Angela, just tell me now. You're doing too much of this on New Year's Day. You're arguing with me constantly. Just tell me.
Okay, there's a person on Threads who wanted people to Photoshop DiCaprio in her picture of her in a Christmas tree.
Oh, okay.
And Deanna's telling us about it. That,
in Deanna's?
Deanne was saying I was crying so hard. I'm reading from the chat.
I guess I'm just not getting it. Square aspect astrology planet. I can't find the.
You're not going to find it there because they're going to be like, okay, well, Mars is squaring something. Is what the search terms they're going to give you? Dale, I want to tell you that what you're doing is boring.
Yeah, I'm going to find out. Well, you're the one who started it.
No, I'm just telling you.
That's all right.
Cosmic Urgency said, stuff is always happening. Ain't no matter where the planets are or whatever the heck.
Well,
it's all always happening.
This is true. I mean, this
is true. It really doesn't matter where the planets are. What we're saying is that this is a tool you can use. Like, you know how like when people watch the weather forecast, the weather's always happening. It's not like we can influence what the weather is doing, but we can read what the weather is going to do and plan our lives to sort of, to benefit from the forecast. So that's all we're doing. I guess yeah, you're totally right. Stuff is always happening, and it doesn't matter where the planets are or whatever the heck.
Well, I guess it depends on how you look at it, because I don't agree with that statement at all. I think the planets do matter. Just the fact that you don't care about them mattering, or that you don't allow them to have any influence. Like, you can ignore them, but they matter. I mean, that's the whole point. They're the reason it's predictable. The reason why we have ideas of what is going to happen when planets are getting into specific positions and in specific configurations, proves that it matters. It just, what doesn't matter is whether or not you do anything about it. But what doesn't matter is whether or not you care.
I don't have any feeling whatsoever about people who don't. I guess belief it's a philosophy.
It literally doesn't matter. Like, that's the point I'm trying to make.
This is what I'm saying.
The part that doesn't matter isn't the planets.
There's some people that get all bent out of shape because they trust that astrology is a useful tool, and then other people are saying it's bullshit. But like, it doesn't. Who cares what people think about it?
I'm not even so sure astrology is a useful tool. Listen, here's the thing.
I have found it to be a very useful tool.
Here's the thing. I think is that what I found from astrology philosophically is that I get great philosophical satisfaction out of it. I've learned more about myself by looking at my chart than I have through any other means. And in terms of that, like, understanding specific things, like a great example for me is that I've had a lot of struggle with relationships ever since the blowout with DiCaprio. And I know a lot of it is PTSD on my part. I know that I have huge trust issues. I have a very damaged sort of view of what friendship really is, because because it was such a devastation for me. And so friendship is a problem for me in terms of the depths of it and understanding it and trusting it and all this other stuff. But what's so interesting about that is that when you look at close relationships in an astrological chart, it's your 7th house. And I'm a night chart, so my malefic out of sect is Saturn, and that means that Saturn is the most controversial of the malefics, or most powerful of the malefics, most challenging.
Yeah.
And it's going to create the most issues with me. And mine exists in the 7th house of my relationships. And in addition to that, if that wasn't enough, I also have Pluto in my 11th house. 11th house is a house that represents in part friendships. That opposes Mars in my 5th. What is so absolutely crazy, and what makes astrology so outstanding, is that my art or creativity, my 5th house, ruled by my 1st house Mars, was in opposition with Pluto natively in my 11th house, which means power struggles and potentially explosive or
so what you're saying is like
endings.
Yeah.
So I have already Saturn, which can cause certain barriers, can create issues with long-term relationships. There's also an upside to it, because Saturn in a 7th house can mean loyalty and so on and so forth. But it's as a malefic, which as a malefic out of sect in my chart, it's going to have potentially malefic. Its malefic qualities are going to present themselves more easily for me.
I think that
and more catastrophically, for a better way to put it.
I think the best way to summarize what you're talking about, what you discovered in your chart when you first started learning astrology, and what it told you about your relationships, was that Saturn provides barriers to your closest relationships, barriers that are surmountable, but you're going to constantly be faced with barriers in your closest relationships. Then Pluto in your 11th house is going to provide you with power struggles in your broader social groups. And reversals of fortune is another thing that Pluto does.
Correct.
But in the context of your broader social
abrupt
groups
endings
and the dreams and aspirations that you have for your life and your goals, right? Because it's also right next to your vocational significator, which is your MC in that same 11th house with Pluto.
I mean, we don't have to get into that,
Okay?
but yeah.
But like all of this involving
We don't
not
need to get
only
into
your
the weeds.
broader social groups, but your
I'm just
your
trying to be
vocation.
overviewy
and then
here.
Your 5th house of your creative output has Mars, and so that means that you're going to be attacked around your creativity.
It means there's
Potentially.
a potential for that. Yeah.
So it says so much
It's also
about your experience.
Mars is also my malefic insect. I have less of the martial. I have less issues with the martial energy. The martial energy has really been quite helpful. For example, it's the kind of energy that got me to Hollywood to be an artist.
No, this is so true. I lack
Yeah.
martial energy, and I suffer for
So
it.
most of the martial energy is beneficial for me in this case. It's really Saturn and Pluto and that opposition to because it's Pluto that's activating that bad part of Mars. Mars I had tamed. I had Mars in good condition in Pisces, right? It's in a water sign. It's trining my by sign, trining my ascendant and the ruler of my ascendant. So it's like Mars is in very good shape. It's not in great shape, but it's in very good shape, and it's in my house of creativity. But what fucked it up was Pluto in the 11th. You know, what causes what I believe on my chart explains the explosive fallout that I had with that whole group of people. That's Pluto, and that Pluto then that it was so catastrophic that it still lasts to this day is Pluto. Like that's not Mars. Mars is like smash, bam, boom, bam. And then, Mars moves on and it's on to the next thing. Fucking Pluto's like boom, crater, problems. You got to rebuild it for years potentially. That's Pluto. And Pluto, couldn't have done a worse job on my friendships or a better job, I suppose, if you're Pluto. Although when you look at, things like evolutionary astrology, Pluto is a much different and bigger deal with that particular astrological practice. Anyway, are we becoming boring?
No.
You called me out for boring already once.
Well, it was just because you were on your computer and you weren't talking to me. That's why.
It's a pretty chill, New Year's show, I got to admit. Yeah.
Cosmic Urgency wants to know if I took your last name.
No.
Dale is my second marriage, and I've never taken a man's name or anyone's
Dude,
name.
my first marriage, she took it, and I was like, why are you doing that? She's like, what do you mean? You don't want me to have your name? And I was like, well, don't you have your own, is what I'm saying.
You were born with one.
Oh, you don't have to put up with that bullshit. You don't have to change your name to mine. If you don't like your name, my brother changed his name to his wife's.
Because her
He
name's
hyphenated.
cooler.
He hyphenated because he just loves the Italian name, Tropea. I'm like, you're still a fucking white, like paisley skinned, fucking of Welsh descent Canadian, Doug. Even if they call you Tropea Wheatley.
That's funny. Paisley skinned is funny. I always just thought so the last thing I ever want to do is do paperwork and deal with bureaucracy. And so I was like, oh, well, is it a choice of avoiding paperwork and bureaucracy or doing paperwork and bureaucracy? Okay, that's an easy choice then. I'll just keep my name then. Because it's such a fucking hassle. My father is Hispanic and he has one of those last names that's two names, Like
Yes.
it's in Portuguese, it's like you're of the whatever family. So it starts with a day. And it was such a fucking hassle growing up in the United States where I had to go to the Social Security office like 4 times for them to correct. They had it like, they had the day as 2 words and then they squished it to 1 and then I had a different identity and then they had dropped it completely. It was just like a whole thing. So
Nightmare.
when it came marrying time, I was like, I'm just keeping what I got. Fuck that.
Yeah, I'm also like so not traditional in that way. Do you know what I mean? Like accepting my name is such a weird thing for me anyway. Like, who am I? I'm
Yeah.
just a fucking guy. Jesus. Oh, the man of the house. Yeah, take my name. Bear me some children.
Kindly DiCaprio was saying, do you think that Barron Trump will grow up to be kind? I don't know anything about that kid.
I say he's off to a really bad start in terms of just the way things are going. He's
Right. Well,
Barron Trump is worth hundreds of millions of dollars
he's married
so
to
it's just
terrible,
already
He's
bad.
raised by terrible people, right? Just
Yeah.
like Trump was.
in a bubble.
All I know is his astrology chart, which I have here. He was born March 20th, 2006 at 5:30 a.m. in New York. And
So he's Aries?
No, he is let's see.
That's an Aries sun, right?
No, Pisces. He's a Pisces sun, Pisces rising.
Really?
His moon is in Sagittarius in his 10th house. I think that this guy is never going to be.
Is that right at the end of?
I don't think that this kid is going to be comfortable with being as much of a public figure as he's born to be. Like, I don't think that he's going to have a very easy time contending with all of these influences.
Wow, so that's crazy because like March 20th is the last day of Pisces.
I think this kid might feel like a bit of a lost soldier his whole life. Like
What's
he's mandated to do stuff, but he doesn't care or want to.
where's his ascendant degrees wise?
His ascendant is 15 degrees Pisces, and his sun is at 29 degrees Pisces. Huh. He also has Neptune in his 12th house, so I think maybe he might struggle with addiction, or maybe gambling addiction, or some sort of...
In the 12th?
Neptune in his 12th house in Aquarius. So for the next 20 years, he's got Pluto in his 12th house, too. I don't think that this kid's going to have a very easy time. And, like, can you fucking blame him? Because look at
he's got 30 years of Pluto in the house. What kind of
a weird childhood and upbringing... Can you imagine a stranger one than being the youngest Trump child who grew up in a fucking golden castle, like in a golden penthouse with these people?
He just like this. He just like reported like a couple $100 million in earnings or something because his dad got him crypto or some shit.
I don't know whether he's ever going to find himself, but from his chart, it looks like it's going to be a difficult process.
It must be so weird to have like to be born into a world where money has absolutely no it's not a thing. It's just.
Oh, Slowcar saying about my name that Angela is just Angela, like Prince or Seal or Madonna. Yeah.
Tiffany.
That's right. My problem is I don't use my last name because, first of all, it's like apparently horrible to be a public figure on the internet when you're a woman. So I was like, okay, well, I'm not going to give anybody any help to look up like who I used to be before I'm this. But another thing, I have a really ethnic last name, and I just feel it's hard for people to spell. It's hard for people to say, and I'm just like, don't bother trying. You know, I don't need it.
Nobody cares.
Nobody cares. I know. Maybe if I'm an author, I'll come up with a pseudonym that's interesting.
I probably should have just done a pseudonym.
You, a pseudonym?
Yeah.
Well, according to your astrology chart, you're supposed to be using your name in all that you do.
Quarter fate, married 16 years, kept her last name.
Yeah. See what I mean? There's no reason for it. I feel like I'm suspicious that it's like some sort of like patriarchal claiming of a person.
That's exactly what it is.
I just don't understand what the purpose of it is.
It's obviously patriarchal. I mean, why is a woman
incentivized to do it?
Why is a woman reducing her name to the man's?
What's the incentive? What do we benefit from? You know?
I mean, hopefully it's financial. Something.
No, but like to take somebody else to change your name.
I'm a thief in the night, Cosmic. I'm here to get your pick your pockets.
That's right.
I should get a little mask, put that underneath.
Kindly DiCaprio said, maybe this year will be an unlucky year for me. I don't know if it's real or not. Like, I want good luck every year. Maybe that's greedy.
No, that's not greedy. That's human nature.
Deanne said, you're in control of your fate and life. You are empathetic and kind. You will always be in light. Even if things go wrong, you'll survive them.
Yeah.
I think that the thing about good luck and bad luck in a year, everybody always has these really great, they have these wishes for the new year that it turns out to be an easier year or a better year or something. And I think that maybe it's not very mature of all of us. Like, I fall for this too, right? So it's not like I'm scolding anybody, but like, it's not up to the year. You know what I mean? To be a better year. Like,
you say that, but astrology matters. I mean, we just talked about like bad shit that's happening in astrology.
Yes, I know.
So you say that, but
just like how we were talking about how it's extremely harrowing, that eclipse is harrowing for one person who's a very prominent public figure. Maybe that's actually positive for so many other people.
Well, your chart matters. So if we're telling you bad thing is happening, if we say like, something is bad is happening in a particular or whatever, then aspectually you might be in a totally different position.
Also, like if you think about the ways in which people can use like activating energy for positive change, right? Like there's always a bunch of things you can do to exploit really strange, influences from the planets to your benefit. Like, do you think Olympians care that they have like strong Mars placements? Like, okay, maybe they'll get injured, but they'll also achieve a lot. They're really
Most,
they get up out of bed in the morning like better than anybody else because they have this influence. Sorry,
I didn't say marriage was patriarchy. I said taking the woman taking the man's name is patriarchal. Marriage is a joining of two people in partnership. That's totally.
I think, yeah.
I mean, you could say that it's not patriarchal marriage, but how long did the fight go on for same-sex marriage? Just saying. If it wasn't patriarchal, then why was that ever an issue? If it wasn't patriarchal, I'm just saying.
Yeah, it's also really fucking strange that you have to have like permission from the government to be a registered marriage, like that your marriage has to be registered. Like the whole thing's kind of seems backwards.
It's so weird. It used to be so crazy because there used to be, laws like, there are laws, obviously, tax laws, all this other shit. It's weird,
that
man.
benefits marriage.
Yeah,
Like,
because part of it is they want you to have children. Because it's like the way that it all works, right? It's all about keeping you in your job and working for the machine to keep the machine going, the capitalism going, right? So they want you to job. Doesn't matter how mundane your job is. So the one thing that'll keep you working for them is if you have children. They want you to have children because children is, I think the average income from the United States per person born is over $100,000. That's how much the United States of America earns off of the average born natural born citizen. It's 100,000, 100 plus thousand per.
That's wild.
per life.
I didn't know that.
That's the average. So on average, there's 300 million people living right now in America. So that's your futures. Times that by 100,000, 300 million, and that's your future income. Now that income is obviously stretched over decades. Whatever the life cycle is in this country, it's under 80 for both male and females.
Okay, but what are you saying? What's your point?
I'm saying that that children.
That's why the government wants you to be married and
that's why they want the traditional thing is they want they want marriage, they want children, they want to continue the capitalistic cycle.
It's also creepy to me.
It's wild. It's a terrible thing to realize.
We have so much wonderful philosophizing in the chat. You want to hear it?
Yeah.
Slowcar is answering kindly to Cabrio about a good luck year or bad luck year.
Okay.
I think it's a fun thing to be aware of, says Slowcar, but don't let it dictate your life. Go for the gold in whatever you do and see where you end up. More than likely somewhere good.
Totally agree.
It's great advice.
Yep.
Quarterface says, I agree with both Deanne and Cosmic. It's how you react to adversity that reflects who you are.
Yeah.
Dark times are always going to come. Perspective is key.
Totally. It's, I always cite Tony Robbins, even if he was a shitty human being, because, the thing I sort of, I want to say I live by because I don't, and I wish I did, but it's, it's not what happens. It's what you do that makes the difference. And he used to talk about these like great examples. In one instance, it was this guy who he just, no matter what happened to him, he always found a way to achieve, his heart's desire, his goals, his relationship goals, whatever they were. And in one instance, he was flying in a private plane after he'd after he purchased.
I said that before. I think it's going to turn into a word. They're going to officially recognize botten.
After he purchased it, being rich at his other company or whatever. Anyway, he ends up he crashes that plane and it catches on fire and he burns in his body. They have to sew his toes on for his fingers and just absolute mess. Didn't bother him the size though. I mean, he went through the pain of doing that, ended up marrying the nurse that was treating him because he just fell in love with her and she was like, you're fucking amazing. And don't get it. The guy was burned from head to toe. Anyway, he ended up starting a wood burning stove company after that. That became one of the largest. That's hilarious. That became one of the largest in the country.
So he's a very obviously a burn victim, and he starts a company.
That was his next enterprise. He just because he couldn't fly anymore.
Stove.
He was in the aviation world. He couldn't fly, and so he couldn't pursue that as a passion. And so he ended up switching and starting a wood burning stove company that became one of the largest in the country.
That's how you make lemons.
And he just made a massive amount of money off of it and whatever. And hunky-dory life and all this other stuff. So it's definitely not what happens, but it is what you do
I know.
that makes the difference. But listen, there's a part of that that is, there's that part of that that sort of crosses that bound. There's a boundary there that has to be observed in the same way that there was a boundary in like The Secret, right? Like The Secret was really annoying, right? Because like it on the one hand, it talks about manifestation.
Oh, you're talking about The Secret, where they're like, if you wish for something enough, then it'll come
The law
to
of
you.
attraction, I think, is what they.
Okay.
Yeah, and but the sort of bad, the law of attraction. The problem with the law of attraction is how many victims we have in this world,
Right.
and the idea, the concept that people are attracting.
They brought that to
now,
themselves?
there might be true in some cases. You know what I mean? There might be instances where people are attracting danger to themselves. We know this, obviously. For example, if you're a sex worker, you might be susceptible to forms of violence that people who are not in the industry are less likely to encounter. And these kinds of high risk type jobs, right? If you're an athlete, you might be more susceptible to tearing your Achilles, et cetera, right? So there are circumstances that are obviously in play. But anyway, so that's interesting.
I thought it was interesting too. Deanne said, life is an evolving thing. We head in many directions and take many roads. Some are good, some are bad. We will bring out past and old history into the present until we resolve it. And if we do not resolve it, it will continue to be present. Ultimately, we should be on a journey of continuous improvement.
Yeah. I think so.
Yeah, I think that's very well spoken. I mean, that's all you can resolve to do, man. I mean, what else can you do?
Well, some people are
What
out
you
to
gonna do,
obtain
just
things.
Just like fall over and cry about it?
We live in a world where people try to obtain things. Like it always. That's why I was like getting so snooty about, Elon Musk and this promotion about him becoming will become the first trillionaire in the world, and I'm just disgusted by it.
Yeah, I was going to correct you. I was like, snooty is not the reaction. It should be disgust.
Yeah.
Like it should be absolutely.
But what I'm trying to say,
for even.
But let's not go down that rabbit hole, because what I'm trying to say is that it's about like. It's about perspective. It's about focus. You know what I mean? Like if you're focused on these kinds of things, like I don't know Elon Musk. I don't know what his whole fucking the depth of his.
Okay, I know, but it's very clear to say that somebody who is aspiring to do that has extreme antisocial behavior.
Yeah, I would say that they're not on the path that you just described, right? They're outside of the meaning of life. They're living outside of the meaning of life. What Donald Trump does is now again, I say on the one hand, but on the other hand, he's having this wild experience, this crazy wild experience that is obviously transforming his and others, the lives around him. So Donald Trump.
Right now?
Yeah. Of
because
course.
of the Epstein files?
No, just in general. Donald Trump has affected millions of lives on a daily basis.
Oh, just from his job, right?
And from his entire life, whether he's kicking people out of their houses so that he can develop real estate, or he's, being president of the United States and ripping children away from their mothers and fucking, arresting citizens and doing whatever other madness.
There is an astrologer who has dedicated so much time to creating a database of Donald Trump's life and astrology, because he expresses his astrological chart so exactly.
It's wild.
That he's like a fucking cartoon. But the astrologer's name is Nick Dagan Best. He's done actually really amazing work.
Canadian guy as it were, but
yeah, he's done really amazing work also doing the history of Uranus and the United States, like sort of preparing us for this, where we are about to enter the next 8-year Uranus cycle. And all the previous times the United States, the U.S. has been involved in some major war, some sort of armed conflict. And we're about to enter that again, which is like, it sounds silly because when is the U.S. not involved in major war? But the Revolutionary War, that's
not a major war.
The Civil War and the World War II was the last 3 times, and so now we're entering another.
Yeah, those are major wars. Right. Like these other basically military exercises or extended military exercises is not what they're talking about. They're talking about like world engagement, 5-figure losses on each side.
Yeah, they're also
or more.
All of those were wars over liberation,
economic disruption.
So, in some way, we're expecting to be involved in some other bullshit like that. So, anyway, Nick Dagan Best has been doing a lot of research about Donald Trump, and I'm really looking forward to what he says about these eclipses. because apparently, I don't know. Apparently, it's going to be nuts. I guess I'm just repeating myself.
So I know, we have some aspiring filmmakers and actors and all this other stuff, but I'm just can we move on a little bit and talk about some stuff before we go?
Yep.
So actor Mickey Rourke faces eviction from his LA home over a $60,000 unpaid rent bill. Imagine being Mickey Rourke and paying rent.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. I was like, what do you mean you're paying rent? And what do you mean you're not paying rent?
Actor Mickey Rourke faces eviction from his Los Angeles home after failing to pay his rent. Rourke, whose birth name is Philip Andre Rourke Jr., received a 3-day notice to pay rent or vacate the premises on December 18th and had failed to comply, according to court documents filed in Los Angeles Superior Court on Monday. At the time of the notice, he owed $59,100 in unpaid rent. A representative for Rourke did not immediately respond to a request for comment. In March, Rourke signed a lease with a 3-bedroom, 2.5-bath house for $5,200 a month. And it was subsequently raised to $7,000 a month, states the court records. A Zillow listing describes the property as a nicely upgraded Spanish bungalow built in 1928. Raymond Chandler was said to have resided there for 2 years in the 1940s.
Well, that's fucking cool.
Yeah.
Raymond Chandler.
Yeah. The property's owner, Erica Gold, is requesting compensation for attorney's fees and wants damages. A lawyer for Gold was unavailable for comment. The former boxer turned to acting with small roles in the 80s and Heaven's Gate and Body Heat, then a year later before earning his acclaimed role in Diner. If you haven't seen those movies, they're fucking great. After a slate of leading roles in a number of these movies, including the recently watched for us, The Pope of Greenwich Village, 9.5 Weeks, you guys remember that one, Rumblefish. Rourke's film career took a nosedive with his off-screen antics frequently overshadowing his career. He lost everything, he said. My house, my wife, my credibility, my career. He told The Times in a 2008 interview, I just had all this anger from my childhood, which really, was a shame. Was really shame and not anger at all. And I used it as an armor and machismo to cover it all up. So it's like this guy, you have this guy, Mickey Rourke, man. You think about Mickey Rourke. Like if you saw Mickey Rourke at the fucking, at the car rental place, like, Mickey Rourke, holy fuck, can we get a selfie? You're never going to think that this guy's like, not making his rent. Now, look, maybe this guy jacked up his rent. And he was like, fuck you.
Okay,
sue me.
I know, but here's the thing too, is that Mickey Rourke is also getting notices to vacate and he doesn't. So it's gone to court because he's
refused to leave.
Right. So is he just being a fucking weirdo, a fucking brat, or is he testing the guy because he feels like he has some sort of defense that he belongs there, or that maybe he says that he is paying rent to some sort of middleman and it's not going through or something. But if it's not that, then he's just being an asshole and he's being evicted for non-payment and he's not leaving. How weird. Why is he living in a place? Is it that he can't afford it and he's living in a super expensive Spanish bungalow? Sounds dreamy.
It's not that expensive. $5,500
yes.
In LA, Angela,
yeah.
or
that's
$7,000.
How much they cost.
That's not that expensive though.
A 3-bedroom in a night. What's the neighborhood? Does it have an address? He's probably living in some fucking nice neighborhood.
Yeah, it's a nice neighborhood. It's not a big giant mansion.
He's not living in fucking Monterey Park, bro.
No, he's or even Highland Park. I mean, what do I mean? What's that fucking village?
I just feel like it's kind of a... if you don't want to be in headlines for being evicted, then what you do is you allow yourself to be evicted before it goes to court.
I'll give you an example, right? So he's paying $7,000 a month, and Nicki Minaj...
No, she owned a home, right?
No. Who was it? It was somebody else.
I think
they were paying $30,000. $30,000.
In rent?
Yes. A month. $30,000 a month.
Why?
Happens all the time, by the way, in LA. They a lot of short-term rentals too. Like they'll be like, oh, you need a place for 3 or 4 months, $30,000 a month, $90,000 charged to the production.
Oh my God.
Yeah, and they just live in these
what
like
a fucking waste.
It's crazy. Anyway, it was just a weird thing to see. It was like, man, I mean, I feel bad for the guy if he's struggling, and it does like really, it's eye-opening. It's just like, wow. I mean, fuck. You're like,
there's no way that you're Mickey Rourke. You were just on a fucking TV show.
The internet says he's worth
year.
$5 million. I don't know.
I know. There's no
way
that he's unable to live within his means. Like, dude, Mickey Rourke could probably get a super sweet studio apartment and be really happy. Why does he need a 3-bedroom house that he can't pay for? I don't know. Like, I think that landlords are a fucking scourge. I don't appreciate that they exist at all, but I feel like situations like this are unforced errors he doesn't need to make. He doesn't need to be in fucking headlines about getting evicted from a super, super expensive place. You know what I mean? He
Yeah,
could just
well, he did,
figure it
though.
out like everybody else.
Stranger Things, the big event. It crashed Netflix.
It did?
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, good for them.
I
the Duffer
still can't
Brothers.
get over the fact that it's like everybody said like the last 2 seasons were absolute trash.
Yeah.
And they still can't get enough of it. Like I stopped watching Game of Thrones. Like I just stopped.
I know. Me
I
too.
stopped Dexter. I just stopped.
I'm
Because
just
I was
really,
like, fuck, this is wasting my time now.
I'm really happy for Winona Ryder and all of her success. That's all that I think about when I think about that show doing well. I'm like, then she's doing well, and that makes me happy. Have you ever heard her talk about movies?
I don't know.
Winona Ryder is such a legend for like trying to influence all these young kids that she's working with on the show.
Yeah.
She's trying to get them to watch movies.
Yeah.
Like be educated in like their film literacy. She's really adorable that way.
So adorable.
I know.
Will Smith is he's being sued.
What for?
He's being sued by his violinist.
I'm sorry.
He went on tour.
Oh, Will Smith, a musician.
Yeah.
So he's musician Will Smith.
Well,
And he had a violinist that played in his band? Because I thought you were talking about him just being a rich guy.
like when we were watching Succession, they were like, musicians, play.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
No, this is Will Smith, the rapper.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
I forgot he's rapping again. I feel like nobody asked for that.
He's like, you know what? I still feel young. Will Smith is being sued by a violinist who accused the actor of firing him for reporting a sexual assault while he was on his tour.
Oh, okay.
Brian King Joseph is suing Smith and his company, Treyball Studios Management, for wrongfully terminating him after a March incident in Las Vegas on the rapper's Based on a True Story 2025 tour. According to, and then I slapped him. According to a civil complaint filed Wednesday, December 31st in Los Angeles court, the musician claims he returned to his hotel room booked by Smith's company to find someone had entered and left a sexual message. Wipes, a beer bottle, HIV medication with another person's name on it, and a hospital discharge paperwork belonging to another person.
Excuse me?
It just sounds like somebody got the wrong
What?
room.
Yeah.
Like, oh, my bad.
Why is he blaming
Can I
their
get my
production for
HIV
that?
pills? They're like $30,000 a pop.
I know. Nobody's going to leave that unless they're planning on returning.
Joseph said, or maybe it's not a pop, but they're like really expensive.
Discharge from the hospital.
Joseph said that the note read, Brian, I'll be back no later than 5:30. Just us, drawn heart, and was signed Stone F.
Okay, but that could also be the wrong room because there's a million people named Brian in the world.
Brian, yes, I love you. Joseph said he reported the situation to security as well as tour management, who accused him of lying and blamed him for the incident. He said he was fired days later, though management told him that the tour was moving in a different direction. That's what they said to me when they fired me at McDonald's.
They're moving in a different
Dude,
direction.
here's what happened, man. I was like,
At McDonald's?
I was like a young kid.
You never
I
move
was,
in a different
I was
direction.
drinking too much already as a young kid. I was partying too much,
Yeah.
and I went out and I drank way too much the night before, and then I had to do breakfast. And if you've ever worked at McDonald's and you're working the grill, breakfast is a fucking nightmare. And I showed up wasted, like still, like just and then they just sprung on me. It was like, today is your evaluation, and I'm like, oh, fuck, do I stink like booze? And I was 14 years old. I mean, it was like way too
That's
young
why
to
they
be
picked
drunk.
that day for you.
So then what happened was I knocked over the pancake batter, bro, onto the floor. The blob, the mob. It was just, so I had to clean that up. And then they were like, I fucked up the grill so bad that they were like, can you get out into the lobby and do the lobby work? So I'm like, yeah, okay, man. I'm sorry. Okay, yeah, I'm sorry about that. So out into the lobby I go and I change all the trash and everything's good. I clean up the lobby and I'm like, okay, right? Am I right? Did I do a good job? And then just as I'm going in to go over the valuation, somebody opens up the trash cans. I didn't put liners in. So all the trash just poured out of the fuck because they opened up the thing and it was just trash that just poured out.
Because you didn't put
Because
bags.
I didn't put any liners in. Because it was just wire liners.
Dale. So did you get written up?
So
No, they said that they were going in a different direction.
He was an Asian fellow, and he had an Asian accent, and he said, "Dale, we are letting you go." And I went, "You're firing me," and he was like, "No, we are letting you go." He just kept saying that. I was like, "No, I think it's because I don't want to be let go. So if I don't want to be let go, then you're firing me. Is that not true?" No, Dale, we are letting you go.
What if I want to stay?
I literally said that. I was like, what if I want to stay? Like, I don't want to go. If you're not firing me and you're just letting me go, don't. Let me stay.
Oh, that's really funny. You gave me PTSD when you talked about knocking over the batter though and watching it spill.
Oh my God.
It
probably took me an hour to clean that up.
The worst thing that ever happened to me was that I worked at a diner where they made the ranch and blue cheese. They made it in house. It was delicious, but they kept it in these giant tubs, like these huge, like those like big square tubs.
Yes.
Okay, and they would keep it in the walk-in freezer or the walk-in refrigerator storage. And I had to move them over in order to get to something behind that I need. I can't fucking remember what it was, but the something else that had been prepped and put back there. And all the fucking handles of those containers were always fucking greasy because people are using gloves when they're making the food and then they handle the shit and they don't know that their fucking gloves are covered in fucking dressing or whatever. And so I picked up the handle of the thing and I pulled it out from the shelf and I dropped it because it's all greasy. But if you drop one of those tubs and it hits the floor hard, like flat on the bottom, what it does is it makes this huge drop that goes straight up.
Oh, shit.
So if you're standing over it, you just get like a huge blast of dressing right in your face.
Oh, no.
And that's what happened to me.
Vinegar and
it was blue cheese dressing and it
cheese.
got all over my face and hair and all my on top of my shoulders, all down the front of my shirt.
You should have been photographed.
I know. It fucking sucked. And I had like a bunch of tables waiting at the same time. It's like, man, if you haven't worked those jobs, just sympathize for the people that do, because shit like that happens every single fucking day at those places.
Zootopia saved Hollywood. It did $1.46 billion and is now Disney's highest grossing animated film ever. It beat out Frozen 2.
Haven't there been a bunch of like screenwriters talking about how Zootopia is really clever or something? Or
maybe
how
we should watch it. It's the highest grossing fucking animation of all time. And I thought that would be Fox and the Hound.
I gotta find this video. There was a screenwriter who was talking about what like a master stroke it was, because apparently they had a concept that they tested with audiences and it tested poorly, and then they did a whole rewrite and they fixed it and now it's genius. Somehow. I don't know. But it's resonating with people, huh? Zootopia 2?
To the tune of $1.46 billion.
That's weird.
Which Elon Musk goes to.
Oh.
How much? 1.4.
You keep reminding me that he exists.
Really? It's not him? He's not reminding
pleased.
you? I said on this live that I felt like George Clooney was getting favorite treatment in France because they expedited his naturalization.
Mm-hmm. His citizenship.
He is a naturalized French citizen now. And what happened? But a French minister has now spoken out, calling it favoritism, saying that it's not right, saying that they are being favored because of their status and are then, moved up in the line. It's just not right. And yeah, one of the guys signing the thing said that, it's all about, did I already say this in this live?
This morning, yeah.
God.
I mean, not this morning.
At the beginning of the live?
Yeah.
I'm just having deja vu, or did I actually fucking tell you this? All right, never mind.
I didn't know if you told me the whole story or whether you just prefaced
It's
it.
just wild because like the guy, they because they're rich and famous, they get to become citizens in other countries.
This is really,
just on request,
this is a super like
other people have to go through years.
I'm sorry.
And learn the language. Mm-hmm. Like one of the criticisms immediately was that he couldn't speak French.
Yeah, I know, but it's very predictable political choice to come out and say, yes, you're right, it is appalling, and these sort of things shouldn't happen, and then have absolutely nothing change because they're just...
It's politicized at this point, right? So
right, but what they're doing is very specifically like they're addressing a concern that the public has in a way that makes it seem like maybe they share that concern, but what it does is just pacify and placate, and it's not actually going to do anything. Like, it's not like that means that all the other people who were waiting before George Clooney showed up are now being expedited.
No.
It doesn't mean that George Clooney is going to lose whatever he gained in this way that they're admitting was probably not, entirely fair. So nothing's going to fucking happen. He's just saying, yeah, I agree with you. It's wrong. And that's it. And
George Clooney, I'll tell you, I'll say this, like, actually, maybe I'll bring it up because George Clooney said something that was like, you can't blame a guy. Like, if you have the money and you have the wherewithal, do your thing. Actor George Clooney and his wife were granted French citizenship because, and by the way, George Clooney's wife, that's right, because now I remember there was a comment saying, isn't George Clooney's wife French? She is not. She's Lebanese, or her parents were Lebanese born. Well, let's just see what she is. George Clooney and his wife, Arnell Clooney, were granted French citizenship because, you are correctosaurus today, I'm just saying. They contribute through their distinguished actions to France's international influence of cultural outreach. The French government said Wednesday, defending their naturalization, and was questioned by a junior French minister. Where's the message being sent is not good, blah, blah, blah. The couple purchased an estate in France in 2021 and have described it as their primary residence. I'm just trying to find Clooney's. Pop-ups are just really... let me just find this quote. I don't want them to be... So he goes, in an interview with Esquire in October, Clooney said, I was worried about raising our kids in L.A. in the culture of Hollywood. I don't want them to be walking around worried about paparazzi. I don't want them being compared to somebody else's famous kids, he said. Growing up away from the spotlight in France, he said, they have dinner with grown-ups and they have to take their dishes in and they have a much better life. And it's just like, I can just totally get it.
Yeah, but he could have done that in Kansas.
Kids brought up in, no, you can't.
Yeah, sure.
I don't think so. I think culturally, Kansas, he's going to be, still paparazzi'd.
I mean, I understand his justification for wanting to move to France. I just feel like he's lying when he says that was what that was, because he could have moved to fucking Idaho and done that.
I don't think he could have. I think you keep saying that, but I don't think anywhere in America he's not going to be faced with paparazzi. I don't think there's a place in America where, like they'll find you eventually. They got to Shelley Duvall. They'll find you eventually.
Yeah, that's true.
But anyway, it's hard to like blame the guy when he's, when he puts it that way. It's just like, yeah, if I had all the money in the world and I had 2 kids, let me tell you, man, I've fucking Bijou Phillips. Like, these people born and raised in the system and raised up in Hollywood, it's a fucking disaster. And this whole, like, it's this whole subculture of my dad is more important than your dad, or my mom is more important than your mom kind of culture, Yeah, you may be DiCaprio's love child, but I'm fucking Steven Spielberg's actual child. You know what I mean?
It's true. Like,
DiCaprio doesn't have a love child to my knowledge.
It's true that rich kids or kids of famous people have their own set of problems, because I cannot imagine how awful it would have been if I had to carry around with me the identity of my parents and their public image and their profession and all of the other baggage. Like, those kids have such a hard time becoming their own person, right? It's like a very unique struggle. It's the same thing as if you like live in a small town and your dad runs the biggest business in town or something. Like, you feel like you have to grow up and run it too for him, with him, whatever, It's the same sort of issue. It is tough.
Anyway,
I definitely think that I agree with.
It's just interesting that I was just bringing it up.
I'm sorry. I agree with George Clooney that anonymity is a really much advantageous way to raise kids and be raised up in, right? Like, being able to be anonymous. One of the reasons why we pined for a time that where we didn't have cell phones is because you could be anonymous. Now people are fucking like, they're celebrities just for making videos in their house when they're fucking 10 years old. It's weird. It fucks them up.
Yeah, totally. I mean, I brought it up only just because, like, it was amazing how, like, my instinct was on that was like, oh, some people are going to be like, what the fuck, because, to immigrate to another country is a difficult thing to do. It's expensive. It's, like your sister, she moved to Australia. It took her 2 years to immigrate. That motherfucker just goes and drops some money on a house and moves the fuck in, and then hobnobs at Cannon. It's a wrap. You know what I mean? It's pretty wild. Like it's just the privilege. I understand why he's using it, because I would too if I was in the position and I wanted it. But it does suck for everyone else who's sitting there looking out from the inside, going, "Well, I'm a medical doctor."
Yeah, right.
You know what I mean? I'm actually going to come here and I speak French. Mm-hmm. I'm ready to fucking contribute to your,
no, it's
to your
true.
community.
If I was in that waiting line, I'd be pretty pissed about it.
For sure, yeah. It was the first thing I thought of, My last thing tonight is microdosing. This one's for a scientist. Microdosing psychedelics linked to better sleep and exercise habits. This is an extraordinary article. It's in Sci Today or Sci Post.
Okay, how?
I'm gonna read it. A new study suggests that the practice of taking very small amounts of psychedelics may assist individuals in adopting healthier lifestyles. The research indicates that people who microdose report improvements in sleep, physical activity, and diet, particularly when they start the regime with a specific goal in mind. These findings regarding the link between low-dose psychedelics and health habits were published in the Journal for Neuropharmacology.
Let me just clarify this. So they're saying, if you start your microdosing regimen, and it's a regimen because apparently the way you microdose psychedelics successfully is that it's 1 day off. I mean, 1 day on, 2 days off, 1 day on, 2 days off.
Who knows?
Like you have to stagger it, or else you'll build up a tolerance. So apparently it's like a regimen. You have to keep a schedule.
Consult your doctor.
So they're saying, they're saying that if you start it with a desired goal in mind, that you will succeed at that goal because you're
chronic diseases such as heart disease, diabetes are responsible for millions of deaths annually. Medical experts agree that these conditions are largely preventable through lifestyle choices like regular exercise and a balanced diet. However, changing longstanding habits is a difficult psychological challenge for many people. Sustaining a healthy lifestyle requires constant self-regulation and motivation. Blah, blah, blah. Classic psychedelics like psilocybin are known to affect serotonin receptors in the brain. Previous research has shown that the high doses of these substances can help treat addiction to alcohol and tobacco. This has led to the concept of behavioral psychedelics, which explores how these compounds might foster positive changes in habits. Luisa Proca, one of them names, a researcher affiliated with the University of Lisbon in Portugal and Leiden University in the Netherlands, led this investigation. She and her colleagues sought to understand if the benefits observed in high-dose therapies could also apply to microdosing. Microdosing involves taking a fraction of a standard recreational dose, which is too small to cause hallucinations. The researchers aimed to characterize the people who used this practice and then specific health shifts that they attributed to it. They also wanted to identify psychological mechanisms that might drive these changes. To do this, the team designed a retrospective mixed methods survey. So obviously it doesn't have the control. It probably doesn't have like a lot of the things that we need to see to really understand the efficacy and attribute it to anything specifically. But I thought that was really, like, every time I sort of get these articles on the effects of psilocybin, I'm like, why isn't this shit in the water? It's just crazy. Like the amount of benefit coming off of this, the health benefits. Like if you're Canada, if you're anywhere here, fucking England, if you're sitting there shelling out the bill for your sick society, like how could you not just get all over this shit? Like I would just be like, if I was like, running Canada, I'd be like, all right, listen, dude, I want a control group right now in this motherfucker, and I want to know if this is true. Because if it's true, we're putting it in the goddamn water, If it's true, everybody's going to go get that shit now. Because I got fucking waiting lines and shit, anxiety and motherfucking stress and shit.
If it's all beneficial, and the only reason why we ever think that it is a negative thing is because it's been like scheduled by the government as this illicit substance arbitrarily. Right. Yeah. But if it only has at that level, it only has like a positive effect on everybody.
Yeah.
Then why the fuck are we having a panic about whether this shit exists or not? Everybody should just be using it.
It's absolutely
like
crazy.
Vitamins.
Nadine is here. I was fucking just thinking about Nadine yesterday.
Oh, sweet.
I was like,
Happy New Year, Nadine.
Just thinking about her. Happy New Year.
Slowcar is saying about Will Smith.
Yeah.
This is really funny. It'll never not amuse me that Will and Jada named their kids Willow and Jaden.
Honestly, dude.
And then
how much more can you love yourself?
And then Slowcar said they need grandkids called Willist and Jadist.
You guys are so funny.
Oh, sorry.
DiCaprio love
sorry
child.
if
County
that was
DiCaprio. DiCaprio love child. Yeah, I'm the mother.
That's your big secret.
He fucked me good.
All right. I wanted to. The only thing I had tonight that I brought, because nothing is happening in the fucking news, but I found 2 poems that people shared for the new year. And so I saved them for you guys. Are you interested in hearing some New Year's poetry?
Cosmic Resistance, you guys already talked about this. I'm sorry, I forgot. I mean, look, I still have a headache. It's been 6 months. It is surprising that Leo doesn't have a love child. But says Shannon, listen, we don't know that he doesn't. That's an easy secret. That's a money secret. You know? Child born with the mother's name. Checks coming from a corporation.
Yep.
Easy.
Could be pretty easy to cover up.
So let's just go ahead and start the rumor. DiCaprio's love child. What would his name be? Benny?
Benny. Do you want to hear New Year's poetry before we go?
Yes.
Or no?
Oh my God, yes.
Are you, do you feel like we have spoken to the chat?
Titanic Edit is here. What's up, Titanic Edit?
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. Yes.
Would you like to or not? I don't know whether you're going to
I'm so excited for
by
this.
the way and read something else from someplace else.
I think you're being really hard on me today.
No, I'm not being
Yes,
hard
you
on
are.
you.
You're going to watch this whole thing back and see how hard you've been on me this whole live. You're going to feel really bad. You're going to be like, wow,
Like
that's
that
not the
time
way to
you-
start the new
You
year.
mispronounced George Clooney's wife's name, and I told you, and you're like, wow, correctosaurus.
I also said
I'm like, that's just
Paisley.
her name
and
is
that's-
Amal.
She was pale. I meant to say pale. No,
No, I didn't correct you about that.
You've
I thought that was
corrected
actually-
all of. You've
I thought
corrected
that was
me.
very artistic.
I think you've
way to
corrected me
say
between.
pale skin.
I think you've corrected me between 20 and like 150 times today
Yes.
on this live.
Well, maybe you should stop being so wrong. Do you want to hear it or not?
Damn you to hell! Yeah, of course I want to hear it.
Okay. Here is a letter. I don't know what the context of this is. Someone said that he wrote it to his daughter.
Is this Emerson?
Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Ralph Waldo Emerson.
Okay. He said about the new year.
About the new year.
I'm assuming. No, this is about just new days. Okay.
Okay.
Write it on your heart that every day is the best day in the year. He is rich who owns the day, and no one owns the day who allows it to be invaded with fret and anxiety.
Oh, I'm such a loser.
You just don't own the day, that's all.
He just called me out in the worst way. He's just like, Dale, you're a loser.
He says, so finish every day and be done with it.
This is great advice.
You have done what you could. Some blunders and absurdities no doubt crept in. Forget them as soon as you can. Tomorrow is a new day. Begin it well and serenely, with too high a spirit to be cumbered with your old nonsense. This new day is too dear with its hopes and invitations to waste a moment on the yesterdays.
Are we all going to wake up and just be like whistling?
It's a new year.
Hey, what's up, Dale? Hey, no, what's up with you?
Howdy, neighbor.
Just waving to people that don't know me. Hi there.
And they're like, oh.
They were like, pardon me? No. It's a new day.
Okay, and I have this other one too.
Oh, that was it?
That's that one for Ralph Waldo Emerson. Yeah.
Fucking awesome.
It's awesome, right?
Yeah, that's just amazing.
Apparently he was giving advice to his daughter, I think, is the context of that.
As solid as it gets, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This one is more of a poem, which I just enjoyed so much that I wanted to bring it to you guys.
Okay.
It is titled To the New Year by W.S. Merwin.
Merwin?
Yes.
I wonder if that's his real name, you know?
Or
Merwin.
hers. I don't know who W.S. Merwin is.
Merwin. I suspect something. Go ahead.
Okay.
I'm just foolish.
Ready?
I'm a robber. Yes.
To the New Year.
Okay.
With what stillness at last you appear in the valley, your first sunlight reaching down to touch the tips of a few high leaves that do not stir as though they had not noticed and did not know you at all. Then the voice of a dove calls from far away in itself to the hush of the morning. So this is the sound of you, here and now, whether or not anyone hears it This is where we have come with our age, our knowledge such as it is, and our hopes such as they are, invisible before us, untouched, and still possible.
Lovely.
Isn't that nice?
Yeah. That's a darn good poem.
That's a good one.
Oh, I am gonna read this 'cause I'll forget, and I just want to read this to you guys because it's too fucking hilarious. So I'm gonna ruin your perfect ending. It was a perfect ending, and I'm gonna ruin it.
You don't have to.
I'm going to because I'll forget, and if I don't forget, I'll save it for. Do we have a live tomorrow?
Tomorrow? Yes.
We do?
Friday? Yes.
Okay, I'll save it for tomorrow. Well, that was super lovely. Thank you for your poems. Yes, and they're perfect.
It's not to my credit. I didn't find these. Somebody posted it on Twitter, and I was like, oh, snagging that.
Hey, we are the aggregate. Okay?
That's right.
We're curators. You know? We're not originators. We're just curators. Oh my God, you guys are awesome. What else we got? Let's finish up the
Nadine said a woman's job is correcting a man.
There you go. Well, Angela is, she's
Just stop it.
absolutely excellent.
Don't act
at
like
it.
you're suffering.
She's really good at it. She did a whole manuscript at one point.
Correcting, yeah.
Yeah.
Your book. See, you like it when it's useful.
And Nadine said, I'm waiting for the poem. Oh, Nadine's, because Georgia's playing now.
Oh, is
Fly, Eagles, fly.
Yeah.
I just don't know who they're going to draft. He doesn't have children, so he can party on yachts. That's a fact. Happy New Year to you.
Kindly DiCaprio said, I hope this year he will reflect on some of the stuff he has done and be kinder to his friends and fans.
Me too. It would be nice to see.
I'm not going to hold my breath.
Yeah, I know, but it's not that. So you don't have to because it's a wish. It's a dream. Yeah, dude, it would be really nice. But if he doesn't, you can just admire his work. It's going to be an interesting ride. I will say, man, to all of you out there who've read the book and, anytime you can share anything about the book out there during this time would be amazing. Like,
Yeah.
this is the time
There's
when
going to be a big Oscars push and there's...
Yeah, this is going to be the time when I'm going to have the most opportunity. And look, I mean, when you ask, maybe he'll reflect. I don't think he'll reflect. I think he needs to get a good slap upside the head. All right? I just do. Like sometimes that, some guys need to get woken up. And the problem with him is that he's at such a peak that he's above the cloud. So he doesn't know, he can't see below him the mess he's made and continues to make because his head is above the fucking clouds. So he needs a humbling. This is my humble opinion. But people like him need humblings. They need that moment to make them realize that they're just fucking mere mortals like the rest of us. That all they are is in a circumstance dressed up in a different way than every single one of us. Mm-hmm. That's all. You think that there aren't fucking actors as talented as Leonardo DiCaprio that never made it in Hollywood? By the thousands. But, his life got lucky and he doesn't see it that way. He rather, and I personally feel this about him, just in terms of knowing the guy for the time that I did, that he is somebody who believes that he is, this special thing over others, as opposed to somebody who's been put in a special situation and being well equipped for it, which is which is wonderful in its own right, but there's a difference between, that's what separates those that kind of become the demigods and those that become the humble Tom Hankses, like Tom Hanks knows I'm just another actor who got the luck, the break, the opportunity for which I was prepared, or where I had, that innate ability and talent, such as Leonardo DiCaprio, and it wasn't even that because Leo was in since he was a fucking child. He was a child actor. He worked it out. By the time he got, What's Eating Gilbert Grape, he had been acting for years.
Slowcar said people are talking about it on TikTok quite a bit, dude. I have a feeling you've got good things coming.
Oh my God, please. It's my biggest hope, man. It's my biggest hope. I got so many plans for this live. If we had cash flow, we would have interviews. I mean, we put together a good live so far. I really strongly believe that. I just believe that we can upgrade it in so many different ways if we just had a little bit of help, and we can grow the audience by being able to bring on an editor and stuff like that. And so, yeah, if you can promote the book and promote the live, You know, it might lead us to that. It's got nothing to do with me otherwise. I just want to be able to afford the live to keep it going because I really think that this is going to grow into something super special. And I really believe that because of the people that we attract. Like, that's what makes me feel like, okay, we've got something here to work with, you know, working with this guy who's been an investor with us for a very long time. And I'm trying to like nudge him in a direction to try and really inject some cash into this thing because it's just like, you know, if you want to see how special this opportunity is, just come and hang out with the people who hang out with us for one night and really tune into them and see that there's like, you know, that these people aren't, you know, they're scalable, you know, as an audience. We can attract more.
Wouldn't it be wonderful if everybody, if you got bigger as a live, right, like online presence,
yeah,
and there were just more super nice, clever, funny people.
I really think that'll I just don't even know what it'll do to me because I just feel like there's something connected. I'm connected to this in some way that I can't figure out yet. But it's why I'm doing it. Like I've been doing this every single day. I'm putting 30 hours into this for literally nothing other than the joy and belief that it's and the belief in it that it brings. And I don't even know what it is. I'm not sure where this is going or what's blooming here or what's going to bloom here. But you know, the green shoots that are coming up are strong and vibrant and they have like just a whole bunch of hope and promise of something that I don't even know what it is to come. But I do know that my a part of my life that are a part of what I believe is my destiny is to be helpful, is to create a space potentially where people can find a place not only to express themselves, but also to and to enjoy whatever we're bringing to the table, but also a place where we can grow separately but together, if that makes sense, or you know, through our company and our connection together. If that makes any sense. Anyway, it's just hopes and dreams. I don't know what the fuck's going to happen. Obviously, if I show up like a robber, looking like a robber, it's probably not going to go well. Now, Cosmic Urgency has me all self-conscious again. You know, it's the new year. You couldn't say something like, wow, you look really broad-shouldered today. You can say something like that, even if it's not true, you know? Because you, Cosmic Urgency, I think you look great. I think you look wonderful. I think you look ready for the new year.
True.
And I'm excited for everything that's going to happen to you.
Younger than ever.
Yeah, you look like a baby, little baby. Oh, I just love you guys so much. All right, listen, man, we're going to be back tomorrow. I don't know when the crowds are going to pick up, but it doesn't matter because you guys are just damn fun. Dale, can you show us the depositions of Leo and Toby soon? Yeah. Yes, this year. That's on the agenda. We're going to be definitely doing it this year. I got to figure out what we're going to do. I'm also launching a Patreon, which you guys are going to be, I think you guys will enjoy it because there's like a bunch of ways in which you can support the show and have some fun doing it if you so choose. But nothing is going to be behind a paywall. I can assure you of that. Well, except maybe some writing stuff. You'll see. You guys are the best, all right? Thank you for hanging out with us on this New Year's Day. 2026 is going to be a very interesting ride. It won't be all good, but it won't be all bad either. So
it's going to be interesting.
As soon as you hit something that looks like a brick wall, know that there's going to be some relief in sight and some really fantastic relief. Also, remember, man, I can't get away from this. It's just been haunting me lately because I feel like this is what we're moving into. Growth demands discomfort, and so when the discomfort comes, it's a great time to embrace the idea that growth is also upon you and upon us all. Yeah. Happy New Year. Just